But the engineer says he had no choice. We are he said it's Liberian. I want to say he
Okay, welcome to the closing argument. It's good to be back. Something was happening, but I don't know. I hope all is well. But it's good to be back. Today is Wednesday, the 15th of May, 2024. It's good to be back on the closing argument. Today must be an interesting show tonight. Lots happening. President Boyka traveled to the country this morning for Guinea-Bissau. I heard that he's now back in the country from what I'm hearing. Also, the national budget for the country was signed by the president, I think, earlier today. So, and there are issues to be raised also by some members of the rescue team, raising issues about what's happening in the country. So we hope and we can dig deeper, and let's discuss what's happening in our country. Welcome. Let me welcome. Everyone. With James Koyate Jr., Bismarck Gode Williams, James Newly, Loa Benson, Edwin Crow, Charles MacArthur DeGaulle, Big Boy Chalet, former manager for the Port of Buchanan, Charles MacArthur DeGaulle. In your history books, I don't care what they say in history book. When they all that record, you say, yeah, you were there before. We also we see Thompson B. Boss, Amoni Da, Alio Kamara, Victoria Blamo Cooper. Yes, guys, hope everybody's having a wonderful day wherever they are. We are live on True FM, on the radio station Liberia, and also Hot FM. I want to thank the management of these two popular and widely listened to radio stations for allowing us the opportunity to have our program relay live throughout the country. I also see Patrick Kennedy, my cousin in Australia. He's in the morning over there now. Patrick Boru Kennedy is in Australia. We also see, we just welcome the African Math Juniors, Mr. Professor, not Professor, but Calabo Gonglo is welcome, Calabo. Samuel B. Johnson II. Guys, we'll get it going, man. Let's get started. Let's get it going. Calabo, I know you come on eating or what? I see you wiping your lip. You come on eating, right?
Yeah, just arrived home from work. I gotta eat.
We'll be right back.
I'm eating palm butter, but I'm listening to Freedom FM.
You also now, you're that one now. You live.
That's the most popular talk show in Liberia today.
Freedom FM.
Freedom FM.
Yeah, for the Liberian listening audience there. I know True FM and Hot FM. Henry Doe, watching from Massachusetts, Boston. What I Henry Doe, I thought you live in Rhode Island. Are you working? Maybe working in Massachusetts. Okay, I think so. Arnold Taylor from Michigan. Madhuri Chelsea Soiree. Angie Clinton, Emmanuel Ma. I'm getting ready to come to Liberia, so I can't wait to hit the gun, man. Can't be so in Liberia. I want to announce when I come. I'll be in Liberia next month for sure. God's willing. He's going to get more reps. He's going to get more. You got our station on live. On live, oh.
Which station?
Why are we listening to it on live?
Oh, wait. Let me call it. Watching our Premier Manchester United and Newcastle.
It's about time you watch I.E. Barrows and Justin Joseph Barrow.
But they are now online.
Yeah, but you're not cure our football in our country now. You're I can't even watch any foreign game because of that thing. Marcus Doe, hey Marcus, you want came here? James Kokopi Yangfo, Yvette Cephas, Ambassador Jerry Chokantito. Oh, you guys, welcome, man. Welcome. Kelabo, let's get going, man. First of all, let me tell you what's happening at your end. Everything okay with you?
I'm doing great. I just came from work. I'm counting the number of days now for school to close. Then I have my vacation. So I think today we have 21 days left.
Oh, yeah, because my kids' school closing June 7th. Yeah.
So we're counting the days.
But the schools in Georgia will close in May, closing this month. Georgia school will close in May.
Oh, yeah. Different states got different calendar. Some school districts even have 4 days of school in a week.
Oh, really?
Most school districts still go 5 days. So, we go 5 days a week.
Before we get started, man, today, I want to recognize the man, the guy they call SKTV, Sekou Kenan. The famous Sekou Kenan from SKTV. Welcome, Mr. Kenan. Sekou, my man. Sometimes that can't be guest here, man. Can't be guest panelists. Let make it lively, man. We do this business. Alice York. But early this morning, man, there was the news that I heard this morning from Slovakia. It was very touching. I've not heard such a news for a long time. There was an attempt to assassinate the president. He was shot. I think he's fighting for his life right now. The president of Slovakia. He was shot this morning, and he on left support. I heard. I don't know whether he will make it, but that's the news we heard. The early this morning, I got out with that news.
What Tomalin, that part of the war is. The only difference really, I would say, the climatic condition one, and the skin color of the people. But when it comes to the economy, is pretty much just like most African countries. It's not really. It's not. They don't have strong institutions, so they are more or less like transitional country. Right? They're still trying different methods. They are still on try and error with democracy. So you expect those kinds of things to happen, and particularly countries like Russia, Western European countries are fighting for influence in those areas. So, just like what we see going on in Ukraine today. Ukraine, even though it's in Europe, but prior to the war, Ukraine was regarded as one of the most corrupt countries in Europe. The government of Ukraine, corruption was one of the major problems in the political system in Ukraine.
Yeah, that the guy who was there before, he was,
corruption. So most of the Eastern European countries have issues with they have governance issue. They have weak institutions, just the most countries in Africa and Asia.
I want to thank Atta Bola. Thank you. We are live on Hot FM 107.9. The show is on air 96.1. We are live on the radio in Liberia. If you're listening to wherever you are listening to, we are live on the radio in Liberia throughout. And there's another edition of the closing argument. We are back. Guys, as we always tell you guys, we need your support. If it's not your support, we will not be on. We need your support to keep the show going. And as you know, things are getting interesting in Liberia now, coming to the point. Like I told people, the new government, they have 2024 to get the feet wet, settle in the water, get wet. 2025, yes, but I can tell you, apparently this new government will start the presidential campaign for 2029 so early because the way they are doing business. We thought they would have, people, but apparently people are saying now they're apparently going to start earlier than expected. The other things that was done by that they accused the past government of doing, they are not doing, repeating the same thing, So people are saying, some people are saying now we're trying to be silent, but we're trying to be quiet. But now apparently the guys want us to get the campaign for 2029 going early. And that's what we see happening, though. Everything they accuse the former government from, they are engaged in it, and they are doing the same thing. I was surprised to see. But you know, when the president arrived in the country from the U.S. last night, when they asked him about him flying commercial jet, and when he said, well, the minute he said, "Well, if I said our friends then get off free ride," I knew straight that something was behind it. When the president said, "If we'll take commercial ride, commercial jet, we'll fly, we'll get money," but I said somebody get off free ride. Then I said, "But then that means something to make it." And then this morning when he flew out of the country, well, the Guinea-Bissau, I knew straight. I said something. Yeah, well, private jet. You know, people say a lot of things about private jet, but you know. Julian Ho, yeah, it's true. He's supporting Russia. Yeah, so I know the president of Slovakia. That's true. Yeah, Sekou Kenan, yes. I'll be happy to have you on, man. Anytime you're welcome. You have a seat on this platform anytime. You're one of the major stakeholder in the media landscape. SKTV, you have done yourself well. Very popular platform you have. Everybody can talk about you, but SKTV, you know, I receive your alerts every day. Sometimes I watch him, but I don't make myself known, you know, but I watch the show all the time.
No,
Yeah.
that's Lord Tomalin. Let's say who come on now.
I want to welcome.
You are saying something on the show today. Let him come and say it.
Sekou, welcome anytime. Saying the link anytime.
Let him just make a call. Let him just come and say something.
Yeah. Want to welcome the former presidential aide, Sekou Kolasco Damaro. Sekou Kolasco is watching the show. Sekou Kolasco Damaro.
But Tomalin, let me say this. I know you are making comments about 2029 starting earlier.
Yeah.
Remember I made in the not the last show, I think last week show, I made an analysis that given the fact that there are a couple of things we need to look at here. If President Bouaga does not show strength, if he does not show resilience and courage, that he's going to lead the country in the right direction, given his age and given the expectation that people expect that you will not go for second term, right? Everybody will start to look past him by 2025. And all indicators now, they are pointing to the fact that President Bouaga is not interested in the future. Even the trip to Guinea-Bissau today, for me, it's a wrong signal to send. Because Guinea-Bissau, just like many of the corrupt countries in Europe, it's not a country in Africa to go to. Any person who wants to be a good president of Africa, Guinea-Bissau is not a country to go to. Because Guinea-Bissau they are very unstable politically. They're a very corrupt country. The president, it's like a family government. Okay, so if you go to Guinea-Bissau, what are you trying to show? What are you going to learn from Guinea-Bissau? Except President Bouaga is trying to show to us that he's going there to learn how to get his children involved and take control of the government. That's what you can learn from Guinea-Bissau. Nothing else. In fact, Guinea-Bissau, America, if you go to the State Department website, I just checked it before coming on the show. They have level 3 threat, caution for all American citizens not to go to Guinea-Bissau. Level 3. That's how the State Department has put Guinea-Bissau on level 3 caution. That's the country the president is going to. So what are you going to learn from that? Except you learn how to get your family control the resources, because that is what is happening in Guinea-Bissau. Except you want to learn how to carry on political assassination. Except you want to learn how to invade a radio station, because those are things that are happening in Guinea-Bissau. There's nothing positive there. They are weak government institutions, okay? So if you go into such a country, what are you going to learn? You are not trying to mediate between the opposition in Guinea-Bissau and the government. That's not what you're trying to do. So what they say you're going to learn in Guinea-Bissau?
Well, guys, welcome Toga Alexander Beldet. Welcome. Also, Keff Hassan. Welcome, guys. I mean, I know everybody. We start what on our mind. I know people have something on their mind to get the show going. So welcome, Well, let talk like in Liberia. Tell us around your mind from Liberia. Give us some just what happened in Liberia. What's the trending news in Liberia there?
Yes. So yes, there are a lot of trending issues in Liberia. One of them has got to do with this whole latest issue on the motorcyclists. You know, the government. I mean, there were a lot of people walking today. People have gotten so accustomed to using motorcycle to commute from one place to another, and the latest policy, shocked a lot of people. So everybody knew that was coming. Yeah. I'm for one, I'm in for it. As a matter of fact, my only issue is, the sort of system that I think that should be put in place before these sort of regulations. Take for example, you have a whole national transit authority that cannot boast of one functional bus at the moment. That needs to be worked on. You can barely see NTA buses in the street. We haven't put in some modern digitized transportation systems like Uber, maybe Bolt, maybe Yango. I mean, we should begin negotiating with some of these institutions. Then we start the measure. But the measure is not bad. But the only thing is, I think they are talking about 9 different things that they need from these motorbike riders. Some of them include insurance. You must get a driver license. You must be duly registered. You must have helmet for both you and your passenger, and you must use only one passenger at a time. You know, so I mean, the regulation is very huge regulation. So today, a lot of people were standing on the streets. You don't have enough transportation system in the country, or not a lot of taxis on the streets, and all of that. So that's one of the key issues that happened today. Another thing has to do with, I think, immediately the president jetted in on his private jet from Guinea-Bissau. He signed the budget into law. I think they had a little, they signed the budget. So the budget has some very crucial issues. Now we can dig a little deeper into the budget now, knowing that the president meant this budget for what it is. We can now dig deeper because we were thinking that there were few issues that will even be asked. I know, when it came from the House or from the legislature for that matter, and went on the desk of the president, I would have thought that the president maybe would have done some line veto. But it seems like it met his acquiescence. One of the issues being discussed from that budget is the issue of over $13 million put in the budget for legislative project. I know most of the legislators are arguing that money, will go to LACE, and LACE will determine the procurement processes and all of that. But you know how the system works. It's the fact that the lawmaker will have to go to the different districts, the different counties, the people there will have to decide those projects. The lawmaker definitely is going to have some interference and will have some control of how that money is used. Like I from Basel, for example, we have the County Social Development Fund. Method still gives our county like $1 million every year. But one of the key ways to apportion that money, we say the citizens from the county, maybe through some representation, 15 or 20 from each district will come together and then they will decide how they carry project in those places. But you can imagine, bulk of that money are going into private pockets. When the citizens come for us to discuss that money, the same lawmakers interfere with those citizens on how that money should be used. So the lawmaker doing his campaign trail, take for example, in Buchanan District, the lawmaker promised that, okay, I will build you a legislative office on my own. When he gets elected, then he tells the people in the district, like, when you go to the county setting, ensure that that issue is put on the table. So we know how these things are interfered with. Another thing and intelligence I'm getting is that, so man, I got it. But another thing is, like, I'm also getting some intelligence, like I said, that there's some money in the budget for Prince Johnson's University. Now,
Wow.
yeah, the hypocrisy surrounding this is uh, we're putting war and economic crimes court. And we think that the people who created carnage and so forth in the country, should not be the ones sitting and dividing the cake of the country and all of that. But if we are putting money in the budget for Prince Johnson University, then that's troubling to me. then that's troubling to me. So I thought some of these issues were going to be looked at and we're going to clean up the budget before the passage, but the president has already signed it, so I think we can look at some of these issues. So these are some of the trending issues in the country. And then with this latest private jetting, the private jet was a very debatable issue under the WIA's administration. It has come back and coming back stronger. It almost tells all of us that it seems that people say one thing on the campaign trail and they say another thing when they're in power. And it brings the political space into a complete place of deception. Nobody seems to be trusting politicians anymore. These people are doing things that they feel once they get in power, and that is a problem. So those are some of the trending issues I can give other people the opportunity to have. So.
Thank you, Toga. Thank you for that. For these, that's a lot of breaking news, though. That's a lot of breaking news coming from Liberia, especially with the line about we got to find out about that Prince. I heard that yesterday, but I was taking it for a joke. Of Prince Johnson University having subsidy in the budget, and one of the things he tried to do to the WIA administration, but the reason why he got mad, I think, when President WIA administration refused to say, well, if that's the case, make this school public university instead of you can't have a private university and the government give money to youth put in your pocket for university. But we got to find out, we got to dig deeper to find out more about that Prince Johnson University being in the budget. And the issue about this private jet issue, like you said earlier, all these things they accuse the former administration of, they are doing the same thing. So apparently they just hooing the Liberian people to believe that they were going to be a rescue government. And that's why we are saying we're calling on the likes of Senator DeLon, Pro Tem Yombly, all these people that supported that push up were going live and attacking the administration, the former administration, about all what we see happening now. Today I saw I think Robert Gagwa wrote a post, and some of them were just playing the hypocrisy to defend it. John, they accept the fact that it happened, but this one is said they're trying to say that it's being used by taxpayer. Look, but anyway, guys, let's make it a good show. Nyenwolo, how do you call them? The people that track on the government, they are saying that President Boyka 100-day deliverables, only 10% was completed. And for 10%, so that means he did not meet his expectation for 100-day deliverables. So most of his ministers now should be in check. Why they did not meet the 100 days? It should be checked. And a good government now will come and try to find out what happened. Why we did not meet our 100 days? Only 10% was completed. For the 2% is in progress. That's not a good thing, though. But let Keff come in, and then we can let Chuchu Jones come in too. The first man to announce his candidacy for 2029 already. So it's already it's in the book, on the books. The first presidential candidate of 2029, Alex Chuchu Jones. So, but Kev.
Well, let me say hi to everybody. Let me say this. 6 million people, according to the Jewish people, 6 million of them were killed and buried by Hitler. That was the greatest crime upon the Jewish people, they claim. In Liberia, there are two greatest crimes upon the Liberian people. The first one, the war. And the second one is the coming of Joseph Human Bokai. It's one the coming of JMB is one of the greatest crime will be on the face of Liberia. They came with wickedness, lies, and everything. When I saw that private jet, I said to myself, the Liberians are so wicked. Let me tell you one thing. When you deliberately fool the people, it's wickedness. It's evil. You turn the men who, in our history, when Liberia was in the darkness, we'll have our dark days. The only man The only man that the entire world was looking up to, George Manawia, they successfully went and turned that man into something else in their mind to the Liberian people. And they turn around and doing the same thing. Private jets, looking the budget. The harmonization that they sold to the Liberian people that was the most wicked thing on the Liberian people, they kept it there. Matter of fact, what they did is, folks who were paid were harmonized, they took them off salary, they don't even have pay. You know, when I say it's one of the most wickedness and crime on the face of Liberia, people take it, people smile. But when somebody, when you tell that person, that civil servant, you say, go with me, demonstrate with me on harmonization. When I come back, when I come in power, I will raise your pay. And when you come there and you take that person off job, and that person got to go home and look at their wife in the face and say, I don't have food on the table today. You tell me if it's not wickedness and the greatest crime on the face of the Liberian people. After we suffer for so many years of war, people putting their life together, and you take job from them by selling stuff to them, telling them that George Manawia is driving, flying private jets, and he taking your money. The people walk in poo water for that. That you turn around and do the same thing. And when they ask you yesterday, he said, my friend, basically he's saying to the Liberian people, you are stupid. You see, some of us will be harsh. Some of us will use certain language. Maybe it may not be on this platform because you know me. I will use certain language because wickedness, you got to confront wickedness. What they're doing now, they're dancing on table. At Calabash. You look on the mansion page today. You guys know where JMB went to Guinea-Bissau for and the private jet. You saw it there. They put it on the mansion. They put everything there. They put it there. But they sold to the Liberian people, telling them that you're going to vote against George Weah because he spent 40 days out. The man even went to see his own son. They campaign against that. How wicked those people are. You know, like I say, a certain word, maybe I might not use. Maybe on the show, guys will say, oh, don't use it. But the pay for evil is, let me leave it. Let me leave what the Bible talk about. When you evil, what will happen? What will happen? What will happen to people? How can you be that evil? How can you be that evil? Right now, the bike. Sorry, guys, for me going long. The bike. Yeah. Right? No alternative. No alternative. Guess what will happen? That person going to work. They will have to pay more on the bike because you know what? The bikers will add on the price because they're going to pay this, they're going to pay that, they're going to pay this. So they're going to add. So you see the bike going to go up. Everything going to go up. The reason people are not taking taxi because taxi was too expensive, so they're using the bike. Now bike going to go up. So the hardship going to go on the people, on the people, on the people. Let me close by saying it's the greatest crime and on the face of the Liberian since the war. The coming of Joseph Walker is a crime. I rest.
Alex Tutu Jones. Welcome, Robert.
Thank you. I don't know I would say it's a crime or Kev. You guys can hear me?
Yeah.
My man,
Perfect.
when you count the wickedness upon the man,
Yeah, I won't
you're
say it's a
concerned to
crime.
use crime. You're concerned to use good word. It's a crime.
Yeah,
It's a crime.
okay.
The war
But
came on wicked on lies, my brother, and they coming on lies.
right.
It's the thing. The
But
war are crime, and they are crime. That war crime code, right? That lie and kill people. This one that lie too.
right. So Toga, I wanted to respond to one of the things you were talking about, Prince Johnson College receiving funding from the government. Um, I disagree with you. If Johnson has a university and the government is giving grant to other universities, such as Cottington University, which is not a public college, then you can't segregate. So I know, like being like bro, we get this thing where when we don't like somebody, then that person don't have any fairness or justice. If the man has a university, whether you like it or not, whether he committed war crimes or not, and students are at a university, and the government is giving money to Cottington, they have to give money to his university as well. And I see in the budget they did give money to Cottington University, which is a private university. Um, what I would say in response to the discussion today with the private jet thing, it's very difficult. I want to try to be balanced because I understand from the position of the government as well as the people. There's nothing for a president to travel. You travel with a lot of delegation, and sometimes it makes sense for you to travel on private jets because it's more efficient. You don't have to do a lot of connections. The time is of the essence. So I'm not against the idea of a president traveling on private jets, especially if it's a very short trip, or something right in the neighborhood like Guinea, Ivory Coast. You can rent a plane for a couple hours, a few hours, 4 5 hours. And if you bought ticket for everybody you're carrying, yeah, you may save a little bit of money. Yeah, what I'm against. But now Liberia should have an airline. If Liberia had an airline, or first of all, if Liberia has serious people in government, the first thing would do all the money George Weah used for traveling in the 5 years time. If you had a good advisor, economic advisor, or finance minister, or people who understood economics, they would have simply gone out there and taken a fraction of that money and set up Air Liberia. The president can use Air Liberia whenever he's traveling. One, you create economic opportunity, you create jobs, and you also solve the problem of the president traveling. And that's the same thing this government will do if they hire any serious people. So the idea that some president traveling airline, Air China, for instance, the president of China doesn't have his private jet. He travels on Air China wherever he's going. For a long time, the prime minister of Great Britain uses British Airways. I think up to this day, either the royal family will loan him his plane, or he uses British Airways. The same thing. So the thing about Liberians is we're not forward thinking. The same thing that George Weah did that they criticized with the private jet. Now some people, I was on Robert Gagwa page today as well, and he was very right. It's hypocrisy when you go and criticize someone and say, "Oh, the person traveling on private jet, why the people suffering," and they ran all this propaganda, and then they turn around and they're doing the same thing. And that's why I criticize the people in the government as well, like the finance minister, the foreign minister, all these people, because it is their job to come up with a plan. You have a budget now. The president has $10 million in that budget. Part of that money is for travel. All the ministries have allocation for travel, even the representatives and the senate and the senators. Why can't we be sensible and say, okay, everybody will want to travel at some point? We can go come to the Boneyard in California, like Nigeria or the country. We can buy 4 or 5, jets. Those things are cheap. They'll literally give you it. They're cheap. You buy them, you get to see Nigerian air pilots and so forth. You hire someone there at the same time train Liberians. Liberians got pilots. The Liberians are working for Delta. And you have an airline, you solve the problem. But our leaders cannot think. They cannot think, you know, a two-car parade. If they see somebody doing something. So I want to go back to the helmet issue. All right. It doesn't make any sense. Even in America, when people, you know, when the police pull you off a helmet, it's a stupid law. And in Liberia, anything we see the white man doing, we just jump. What's the sense of it? If somebody can go and pay to jump on an airplane, what the government has to do telling you whether you want to wear a helmet or not? Focus on the important things. I won't, you know, disrupt traffic, you know, cause all kind of commotion. What would that do to if you educate your population? If people in Liberia understand the importance of wearing helmet and they have jobs and they can afford it, I don't think anybody wants to die. I don't think anybody wants to fall from a bike and suffer. So when you have too much government, where the government don't have absolutely anything to do, so that you sort of worry about their foreign policy, jobs, you know, developing the country, setting up industries. That's too hard for them. They're thinking not to that level yet. So they would look for stupid things like, okay, motorcyclists, you know, you wear helmet or we're going to stop you from going. So that's why I think it's important for sound people to be in the media and sound people to be in government. Because that policy there, it doesn't make any sense to me. And but as far as the airline, I be a big proponent. And I said, my president, I'm not leaving the country unless I leave on Air Liberia.
Okay.
So I will do everything possible within my first 3 months to make sure that Air Liberia is set up. If we get 2 planes, 2 airplanes, if we had Air Liberia in 1960s and 70s, and we're in 2024, why we can get an airline?
Okay.
Especially domestic airlines.
So Tomalin, saying I will mention, can I say something?
Yes.
Well,
especially domestic airline. Let me just close 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Especially domestic airlines. Because airline just not for transporting people. There's sometimes emergencies. Somebody's sick. They can't they from in one of the counties. There's accidents. That things that happen where we have the airstrips there. Tobo built most of the airstrips in Liberia. And most of these places, if you go to the Bahamas, somebody can even land on water.
Okay.
So that's why we'll push, and that's you know, going forward. And like I said, I'm done with the fact of people expecting anything better from Joseph Boakai. If you think that Joseph Boakai is the kind of person that can lead Liberia and develop Liberia, then you need to get a head check. So
okay,
I don't expect anything.
Hey guys, since
Thank you.
The program though, just we said with nine, so everybody got the discussion. Let me just limit ours talk to 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Yeah. Thank you. Lofa, you can be our timekeeper to the girls. We gotta make it happen. 2 minutes are better. So,
yeah. I'm just gonna reinforce.
So let me.
So
support you enforce the rule. Enforce the rule as SOD.
Yeah. Already.
Yeah, but y'all make sure.
No, for me, I was mentioned. So I just want to say something important. Because I was
helmet. But let's talk our kind with 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Yes, so since I was mentioned, let me speak to the issue quickly that my brother Alex, you know, raised about Prince Johnson, you know, getting budgetary support for his college in Nimba. Beyond the issue, you know, of maybe Prince Johnson and his days of the war and all of that, it's even wrong and is concerning with the entire code of conduct. It's a breach. The mayor is a legislator. He runs a school owned by him, not an established institution. The mayor does appropriation. Then the mayor get money in the budget for himself. That is the point. It's not about somebody hating Prince Johnson or whatever. My real issue is you are doing appropriation. It's like for you to be a lawmaker. Then you get a hospital. Then you put money in the budget for your hospital.
Thank you, Alex.
It is wrong.
Thank you, guys. Tomalin, who next?
The next was Robert.
Thank you. I think it's fair though. Y'all gotta wait. They'll go around to before you start your 2 minutes. Right now,
now we can't do that. We ain't got much time. Right now.
So let's just start from 4 minutes and 5 minutes.
Yeah, let's just go
anyway,
forward, guys. We'll start from here. Yeah.
Anyway, but look, I think that where we find ourselves is unfortunate that we are where we are. Because again, like we said, I personally did not anticipate anything better from this government and Joseph Boakai. One of the reasons why I opposed his presidency was because he doesn't have much impressive as a public figure for all of these 37, 40 years. When you do interviews, a lot of times you look at people's resume, you look and see what impact they've made in positions previously held. Unfortunately, we do not do our due diligence when we're electing leaders. I did not expect that. But the hypocrisy here is what has happened so soon to this government. This government talked about having all of the connections and in DC, and they basically ridiculed George Weah for coming to DC and not meeting anyone. The president's first official trip, he came here and he met with managers that a lot of us would not even meet with to make major decisions. When Eugene Namwe came on national radio, justifying and making the case as to why George Weah took private jets from Liberia to Morocco and in the north, the very folks, including my own brother, George Lobo, and others, bitterly argued that it still did not make sense economically because the Liberian people were suffering while the Liberian president took private jet flying out the country, which is why I asked the question today. Is the economy better today than it was 3 months ago? Have they rescued the Liberian people from living below the poverty line than it was three months ago? Are Liberians no longer suffering? What is the price on our staple food like rice? It's still $19 in some areas higher. I was there, now they say. What is the price on gasoline? It's still at a higher rate. If you looked at all of these things that have happened, what is the root of law? Is this president actually leading per the rule of law? Look at what's happening to LTA and all of the look at the major decision made by the Supreme Court and look at the reaction of the president. What have they argued? Well, George Weah did it too. He suspended those. So everything they have criticized, they have done worse. And so then why were they elected president? Why were they elected? What change are they making? And beyond that, since I got only 2 minutes, since I got only a few more seconds, why did they not inform the country about this trip? What are they hiding? Why? What are they hiding from the Liberian people? This is less than 24 hours after this president spent few days in the U.S., millions of dollars spent, lied about the size of his delegation. We saw plenty of them at the church and in Atlanta. They returned home to absolutely nothing. And
Thank you,
when
Robert.
journalists asked the president, what is in it for Liberia? He said connections and relationships. Is that what we're going to eat after
Thank you,
millions of
Robert.
dollars are spent? Connections and relationships?
Thank you, Robert.
Brace yourselves.
Thank
Brace
you.
yourselves.
Wow. Sylvester Pee-wee.
You're muted, bro. A very wonderful good evening to everybody, gentlemen, our dear sister, Auntie Grace. I think basically I feel the same way as Robert just expounded just now. The process about our government bureaucracy being undermined deeply by. And I can recall there was a time I met with the former president, Madam Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, at her residence, and she said one thing. She said, people jump into issue. Myself, I'm a victim of this, or I went through the process before and said some things about Charles Taylor. And then when I came to the presidency, I realized, because of the time, I made a very rough statement about her son. She called me. So when President Weah did I was one of those that came out and said, there's no way you will expose a Liberian leader or president of a republic to a commercial flight. It's not workable. The rest of the folks that are there, they were very blowing things up recklessly. They didn't understand the process today. The same thing. So sometimes the old men want to leave the country Nicodemously. The president cannot leave Nicodemously. It will be exposed. He cannot leave Nicodemously. Well, it's unfortunate. You don't have to have the private jet, and that's the reason why President Weah did. Because the president needs his comfort. The president needs his security entourage to protect the president. The president will need to travel with others. So the issue about traveling, and I said it last time here, traveling on the private jet is more, even less expensive for a Liberian leader than other people didn't know, but they tried to put it aside. They brought politics into this process about just denouncing the former president of the Republic of Liberia, that he was extravagant, he was wasteful. No, there was absolutely nothing resembled fraud, was an abuse in the engagement pattern of the former president engaging the country outside. I said, no, that was meant to cool some things up. That was also meant to reduce spending of the Liberian people. But folks didn't understand this process. And it's unfortunate. And I agree, Rabba, about the process about meeting those. I mean, the president had the opportunity to go to corporate headquarters in Atlanta to meet the corporate boss. This engagement will have to do with the corporate head to do this kind of, because if you have to push data back into Monrovia, that's a boost to your economy, right? You have to have some engagement, but to do that, lower level manager, no, it's not the case. So I would think that the government will have to recalibrate. And this kind of a recalibration will have to be a strategic recalibration in terms of how they want to re-engage the process. On that, I'm seeing trouble coming. And that's one of the reasons why we said time to time that if you came and said you are well suited to rescue the country and you are plunging the country into a more problem, and there is tantamount to calling the people to begin the process of demonstrating. Because if you cannot revive the country from where the country was, and you're trying to plunge the country back into those kind of counterproductive term about refer to it, it's wrong. So I think the re-engagement, we hope that they would going to change, but what we're seeing and those around the circle around the president, there's a huge division as to how structural administration decision will be made, and the rest of that, policy decisions are then generated by the president, but it's conflicted from the angle of most of his protégés. Some of those protégés got different interests, different alignment, and they are aligning from two different sides of the process. That's the reason why there's a very difficult process in terms of how the executive mansion is engaging an international partner or trying to transform policy processes. I mean, we hope that we see things happen in favor of the people of the country, but gasoline prices is about to hike. And other things, the bread and butter issue in the country is difficult. Folks are now going to bed very hungry. I saw Daniel Sano. I was all the time attacking and abusing the former president, saying yesterday state actors are acting. That's why I said on his post, if state actors are acting and they're acting, the people are hungry and angry, we headed somewhere.
Thank you.
So he went over 2 minutes.
They both went over 2 minutes. I give both of them about 3 minutes and 42 seconds. Exactly.
I'm gonna just know that I've not spoken though.
Go ahead, Tomalin. Who next? You're muted.
Chris.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. And I'm happy to be here. Shout out to all the people that are watching, the audience, the people in Liberia. Concerning the private jet issue with the Liberian people and the president, I would disagree with Peewee. I think the cost of the president riding a private jet for a poor country like Liberia is considered a significant expense to the country. When you compare the budget that will benefit the country, the part that will benefit the country, I'm not talking about the part where they have to pay themselves and buy their girlfriend and houses and cars and stuff like that. I'm talking about the percentage of the budget that will benefit the country is like just about one trip in a private jet. So if Ellen Johnson could have she rode a commercial jet in her 12 years, why is it now that these people who don't even have who were poor people before, they experienced poverty, never even had a fitting car once upon a time in their lives? Why they feel the need for a poor country like Liberia, because they are not president, they be riding private jets? It's not fair to the Liberian people. And we will not sit here and say it's going to be inexpensive for the president to ride private jet. No, it's not going to be inexpensive. He has to make sure the budget in a way that it will help the country, and the book his flights in a way that he will be able to come and do what he has to do. But that is just wrong. I don't think for a country like Liberia, actually, that the president should be riding private jet. It's a significant expense to the country. It doesn't help the people. It doesn't help the economy. It doesn't help anything in the country. They only boost the president morale and he ride comfortably the way he wants to go and come back. We did not put him in that position. Liberian people, I never put him there. No way in my life would I have ever done that. But the Liberian people never put him there to do that. So if the Liberian people put him there, one of the reasons why they put him there, because we are doing it, and why now they want to make it okay now? That okay, then Joseph Boakai can do it. Then why you're king into power? You're sure giving other people a chance. That Alex said he wanted to be president. You're sure giving him a chance to go and show what he got to offer the country. You know, but not to say, okay, it's fine now for the man to rap right because he's in that position. Anybody who want to go, anybody who put a knee down to run for president nowadays, like people really need to do due diligence and go in and look into the history and what they can give to the country and what they can accomplish for the country to succeed. Y'all don't be looking at these ever sent names and my brother Rob McGrath, he mentioned on Joe Lobo. Joe Lobo is a policy man. It's not about Liberia for him. It's about UP party. So they're not going to be seeing anything at this point in time because once his party is in that position, it's okay for them. They can go and take picture with the big people and post it. That one of the best things that ever happened for them. So it's not about Liberian people for them. It's about their party. And it's so sad because where our country is right now, what we've been through is supposed to be more than that. We're supposed to be putting that word first, and that word should be our forefront focus. As far as the human capital, that Joseph Boakai government have the human capital to do what it's supposed to do, but do they have the sustainable competitive activity and talent within that human capital? They don't have it. So the people are there, but they can't do anything. They cannot. And if we continue with just talk, the government came to power with a myopic approach. Actually, they don't have any foresightedness for the country. They just came to power because they wanted to take one government off and now they put it like Repo and come in the same thing. Yes, and let me just quick 2 seconds for the helmet. I think the helmet is the right thing to do. The people should wear helmet in the country so they can save lives. Thank you.
Thank you.
As the poor prisoners, everybody watching the show telling us that you guys are doing well. Let us keep it up. Okay, Calabo.
All right, thank you. Here, how I want to start with my 2 minutes. First, I think someone has made this point, and I quite agree with that person. If you reflect on some of the campaign messages, I think the Unity Party and the agent provocateurs of the Unity Party, I think they oversold President Boakai's capacity to lead the country. I think he's a president that was oversold to the voters. So we actually bought a commodity that its value was below the price that was on the market, below the value that was expected. This is what will happen. This is what is happening to the country. A 42-year-old experienced person, public servant, to see how in less than 100 days or less than 110 days, they are beginning to manage a country. It speaks volume that I think there's a missing link. The missing link I see here, he was also to us. He's not what we're told he is. Maybe the kind of experience he had is a different kind of experience, not the experience that will lead a fragile economy like what we have. If you look across today, some of the things he said, the vice president said when his vice president was the first to fly on the private jet. What was the explanation? He said it was a free offer from somebody that he met just one time for the first time in his life at a restaurant in Monrovia. And that Ghanaian did not come to Liberia just like that. Okay? From my information from a reliable source in Ghana, the current contract that FPRC signed with a supplier to supply FPRC with petroleum products, the guy who offered the Vice President Jeremiah Kuhn the private jet, he's one of the shareholders of the company. Okay? He's one of the shareholders of the company. And now you can see that this is exactly corruption. This is criminal in nature. They lie to the public and they sold different things to the public, and we're receiving different value. That's one point we should The private jet owner is one of the shareholders of the company that signed contract with LPRC. And I think the legislature need to look into it. The second issue I want to flag, I know Lofa Julius is looking at me. I am troubled. If we say we're going to have a change system for the legislature to bring 13 million allocate to themselves, my brother here, Alexander Biada, made a point earlier, and I want to re-emphasize that point. This is a corruption of colossal proportion. We give, the budget is just like a cola nut. Everybody in Liberia, you cut a piece. The legislature is cutting their piece, which is their salary, their benefit, and what have you. Then they cut another bigger piece. They say, we the taxpayer, we should also support them to look good so they can be re-elected. Because they're putting $13 million. $13 million. So each district is getting more than $100,000. Take, for example, my district, my lawmaker, Taiwan Way.
Yeah.
In his distribution, he said,
thank you, Kalibo.
$10,000 is going to be used for his office.
Kalibo, thank you.
So we pay him to keep his legislature office, all of that too.
Thank you. Thank you. Great exposure. Thank you.
Yes, Lofa, you come in.
All right, just quickly, let me just share this with you guys.
Somebody keep Lofa time.
I know we're supposed to. I know
I keep it time.
Yeah, gotta keep it time.
Yeah, that's good. I know you're supposed to actually use 2 minutes, but I purposely gave you guys 3 minutes 42 seconds and watch the people respond. So it was really good. Good job. Keep it up that way. Quickly, let me just address the issue of the helmet. Nobody should condemn that idea because it is in the best interest of Liberians. You're protecting the people against themselves. I think that the only idea here that I would appreciate should have been a much more prepared implementation of that idea. Give them ample time, educate them on the importance of this, and then hopefully at a later time have it implemented. You will give them time to do the registration, purchase of the helmets and other things to make sure that they are prepared and have this done based on sections or cities and so forth. But the idea is not a bad one. It's for safety purpose. So I heavily support the idea and the helmet. To speak to President Boykai's trip on the private jet, I didn't expect any different. Look, the guys from UP camp, they only waited for their chance. It was never about transformation. They only wanted chance, and they play on the minds of the innocent people. I heard somebody say today, and Alex, you have all of the information. I share that with you. The private jet, and if I have time later today, I will share with the public all the information on this private jet. Okay, it's owned by a Hispanic person. So to come on here and say his friend gave it to him, that's a lie, and it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable, and Liberians should learn from this mistake that it made, because Honorable Boyka had nothing to offer. If you follow his track record, he really does not have it. It's not with him. Leadership is not there. He have always been beneficiary of just being a leech on government, just like the recent senator who was whipped from Lofa County, Steve Zago. Now he's serving as an immigration officer. It's just sympathetic for us to sit here and be talking about this kind of behavior. Sad. Thank you.
Lofa, you have the former prime minister of,
you got
of
one more
UK.
minute.
The former prime minister, Lofa, the
one
former
more
prime
minute.
minister of UK is currently the foreign minister of the UK.
That's not that. But if you follow this.
But let me say this about Steve Zago. He's a professional.
Lofa got one more minute. He got 45 seconds.
No, it's not about. Let us focus on the minute. Let's just focus on.
He's the man's an FBI train. I can call him FBI train.
Oh, come on, man. You guys are justifying nothing.
He's a lawyer too. So,
but there's no problem with the position. The man's the immigration boss.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Look, if you want to make that justification, there's a lot of problem with it, because you know what? This man ascended to this position and started this whole issue of nepotism. He actually promoted his brother, Henry, He promoted his brother.
That's
while
totally a
Bob
different
was
issue.
there
That's totally a
working with
different
him.
issue, Rabo.
That's the issue.
No, but who
How
wants
is that
to
a
be
different
a
issue?
senator?
How is that a different
You
issue?
are
You
in
came
a
from being a
position
senator.
for
You
officer.
did not make any
Eh?
impact.
Yeah,
You
who
did
wants
not
to
make
be
any
to do that?
impact in that sector.
But and
That
Grace,
agency can.
the thing happened. We took the guy from
No,
from
we
which
cannot
Trump
then address it.
Trump took a senator and appointed him justice minister in this country.
So
What
why
you
are
do?
we deviating now? Tomlin,
And
my man.
appointed him minister of justice, the attorney general.
Yeah, but Tomlin, after Lofa, who next? Let's.
After Lofa, well,
Yeah.
I want to say something. I mean, I'll say something about the helmet issue, right? I support the helmet issue, though. I think we'll open the lines later on. Let hear from the Liberian people. I support the
Everybody will
helmet
support
issue.
that thing.
Now, look, if I think all of us been to Liberia in recent times. You go to Liberia, see the people. So I get afraid. Look, in fact, I remember I was in Liberia, I think 2 years ago, when I saw I was at a health center. The woman she just gave birth, so carrying her baby kept going home on the motorbike. I said, oh, I mean, if anything happens, that is a fall. Your hair was open.
The child
So
died.
wearing helmet is important, and for all the necessary gear is important. But so well, Keff said today, he said it might give them time to get.
They needed ample time.
Understanding, but let us support it. We should not oppose it. That's what I got to say.
But
But let me just say something.
Why
This is
important?
for LPS to come into play. Eugene Fagon, where you at? Get on radio and start educating the people on wearing helmet and the reason why it's safe for them to do it. Encourage the people, make jinkos. What are you doing? You just collected the millions that they promised you and you're not doing anything?
But Grace, that's not the first time, Grace. That's not the first time we educating our people about wearing helmet in the country.
Let's go. Tomlin, who next?
First time?
Yeah, let's
I
go in
think-
order now, guys.
Yeah.
Who's going next?
All right.
Yeah, just
Two guys, man.
Okay. Thank you. So I said something to you, Lofa, and I wanted you to kindly pull it up. It got to do with the budget under the office of the president. And there is some deceptive nature about what I sent to you. And that's why I wanted you to put it out. So you can be able to see what they got under the president's budget for travel.
Okay.
And good thing
Well,
that
it's
comes
$9 million.
from,
That's why I put it up.
that
Go ahead.
comes from the rescue Rambo. So it's not my own making. It came from under the budget line. Now, you will notice under there, they're talking about 100,000 for travel.
Yes.
You mean for a whole year? Because initially, they had thought that the president would not be making too much travels. Or even if you were making it, he would not use that sort of money that other people use. So the entire budget was deceptive. You see what they got there for foreign travel? 100,000.
Yep, I saw it.
Can I ask a question? 100,000 for the entire year?
Yes,
Yes,
for the entire year.
That's what they got on travel.
It's a deception.
It's
deception.
No. The trip to the United States of America. The trip to the United States of America alone. The trip to the US
So
alone.
I don't know how they put this budget together, but that is my first issue. Take, for example, from the information dug up by Lofa that he sent to me, the plane was here last night. So technically, the plane was used by us or by Liberia or by the president for between 48 to 72 hours. So let's say the least we spent on that plane alone should be over 100,000. So it means the whole presidential budget for travel is gone on one private jet. So why the people who crafting the budget are not being truthful to the country? You can put in 100,000 for the president's budget for travel for the whole year, and we're seeing one private jet being used for almost 72 hours. That plane slept here last night, took the route around, and all of that. And then to end up with the entire stuff, the helmet issue. Look, and like Tomalin said, it's very troubling in the country. It's very troubling. I don't know why, people have always politicized this thing about motorbike riders. In most of the countries in the region, most of our brothers in the region, like places like Ghana, like places like Abidjan, you barely just see motorbikes riding all in it. The security nature. In this country, you can barely even find a vehicle around 10 or 11 o'clock. If you went out around 10 or 11 in the country, you own your own vehicle car. you are in trouble. I was driving the other day and somebody sitting in the front of the car and the person was telling me, you see the guy on the motorbike there, that one of the hijackers. When you see the bag riders around 10, 11 in the night, you are headed for trouble. And very soon, like what we can see sometimes in places like Kenya and Uganda, the guys will be going with guns and they're able to drive near your car and even shoot you. We need some serious regulations. And one of the problems is because I think people at the transport ministry and other ministries, like maybe even the NT and other places, they are just concerned about the regular things everybody is doing. The system is not changing. The problem we get in Liberia, we just got people
Thank
who are
you.
just club with
Thank
one
you, Alex.
system over and over. The main
Thank you, Alex.
transport minister, you must have, I'm done.
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.
All right.
I want to call it, Robert just came from Liberia, right? And I'm sorry he has not shared his. I mean, he wanted to pay money to go, but I know, but I thought he would have shared some of his. So what we're hearing, what's he happening about this stuff with us?
Tomalin,
Yeah.
can I just say something quickly? Let
Yeah.
me just say something. I see people saying, why I took a limited time. Guys, this is part of our problem. Give me 30 seconds to just address this, right? Part of our problem in
But
Liberia is
Lofa, if you don't answer everybody, my man,
Yeah.
then move on, my man. You're killing it.
30 seconds.
Then move
I
on.
already had a minute left of my time. The issue here is we want to be leaders, but we don't want to exhibit leadership. The reason why I did that is to set an example for the rest of us to follow.
Yeah,
so
but
let
Lofa,
people know these things. Come on,
Lofa,
Kev, don't do that.
No,
It is
Lofa.
only fair to do that. Lead by example, and that's who I am. Thank you.
Yeah,
Go on.
Lofa, man.
Okay, for my own 2 minutes, I give Robert. I want Robert to give experience on the talk about this issue we're discussing, Robert, about this issue about this motorcyclist. What the recent thing experience, because you went at the time it's a new government. I was there when the old government was there. So the new government came about. I'm not visiting like bro. I'm about to be my first visit on the new government, see how things all about. Share with us at least, and then address the helmet issue, and then we can.
Look, I let me say this. I don't know the purpose of the boot, the police boot, right? I saw a lot of checkpoints. The checkpoints have increased in the country. I'm not sure why, right? And the increase of the checkpoint in the country, from my perspective, it seems like more of a hustle for police officers at night. I mean, police officers are not checking for anything. They're not checking for guns. You don't have to open your boot, your hood, and none of that thing. So I don't understand. Every place you go now, there are more checkpoints than anything. That was one of my things. Now, with regards to this whole bike riding thing, I concur in this sense that in major cities, right, I think that you will not have bikes running in major cities like the way we have. And the reason why I think it's dangerous is because Liberia already does not have any flow of traffic. There is no traffic control. Even when we had the little solar system lights, traffic lights, people are not even respecting traffic lights in the country. When the light turn red, people continue to move forward. No one is held accountable for it. And the major danger to bugs and the way we have no traffic flow is evident by the number of accidents and death that we've seen in major cities. The other day, somebody got hit by a vehicle, and it wasn't the fault of the vehicle. It was the fault of the actual bug, because these guys are dangerously driving the cities. I know people don't have cars. I know the traffic is crazy, and the bug seems to be the fastest way to get to where you're trying to get to. But how do we put some control to that? And so I agree with the government in this light. I think that the helmets are important. However, what you've seen today across the country now has turned into a fun box, Tomalin. You see people are using big pens, bowls as helmet. You see people are making this as a joke. When we were talking about saving lives here, also the government have failed to put in place a clear definition of why this is important, the safety importance that is attached to this, and everything else. The country at night, right now, if you go to Liberia at night, you will see no street lights in the single belt area. In the single belt area where street light used to be. I'm not kidding you. I have videos to this stuff. And people think we're trying to politicize this stuff. And when you ask why the street lights are not frequently working at night, they will tell you, well, we're entering rainy season time. And so the LEC does not have a lot of current to distribute in key areas. But remember this, people criticize that the government put out lights, street lights, and the places were dark during CDC time. And so all of these things that I look at, Tomalin, it raises questions as to the preparedness of Unity Party and JMB. You talk about whether or not CDC were prepared in 2018 when they took power. Let's ask the same question. Was Unity Party and JMB prepared for office? Remember, entering 15 days, they are still making appointments in government. We didn't have that in 2018. And so everything in the country, people are still begging. Everything in the country seems to be where it were three months ago, or even worse. People are still struggling. The unemployment rate is still staggering. So the question here is, as a country, where are we headed? Someone was asking the last time about Joseph Boakai foreign policy approach. Do we know what distinguished Joseph Boakai foreign policy as opposed to George Weah foreign policy? We don't know that. And so the back, I think there has to be a control, and it has to be something we don't politicize. It has to make sense. If CDC government cannot come and say, oh, you're trying to move the bad boys, and so the bad boys will support us in 2029. No. How do we control the flow of traffic in our country? You have the roundabout to ERW Junction right now. Imagine what's happening on straightforward roads and a roundabout. There's no control. Those boys are dangerously driving.
Thank you, Robert.
They jump in front of cars with no control
Thank you,
whatsoever.
Robert.
So let me end on the note. Let me end on the note. 1 second. 30 seconds. Let me end on the note. So it's important that I think as a country we can discuss the politics, but things that make sense. I think we all have got to come together in the interest of safety of our people and say, I think this one makes sense. The government has to put this together. They have to give the backers time. But the discussion as it relates to where they drive, I think it's
enough, Robert. Thank you.
Can I give some information on our Can I give some information on our roundabout?
Yeah, 30 seconds.
Yeah, so the roundabout, do you know that to date that roundabout is not completed? It's not. There are old
but the people said 2 more years from now.
Junction.
3 more years from now.
There are old trucks, Chinese trucks, parked around the junction. All vehicles leading towards the junction, the ERW junction, had to reroute through SD Cooper Road or behind LRA. And that has been going on for months. And these are places that are paid for already. I don't know why the last government, when they left, these places were paid for, but this government came and just ignore them. If you went around the junction, nobody using the junction route again. All the design you see on Facebook is just mere design. That place is full of with more than 50 trucks just laying there and nothing happening. Something needs to be done.
Yeah. Well, let's see what happens end of the year. But guys, I will call on our friends, our supporters, our sympathizers. Please support us. Our TCA cash app is TCA 2500 and the Zelle is 1-484-521-4925. We need your support. It's not easy. We're just trying to keep it up going. We need it. We have Friday. We have a show coming up Friday. We want to make sure we have that show Friday. There must be something we hear on Friday, so we want to make sure that we are on. So that's okay. We can get that news going. So let us support us in any way possible. You can make it. Please help us. But we'll go to Keff Hassan to contribute to us this show too. We'll talk about the issue we're discussing.
For me, and the motorcycle thing, is good for helmet. We all know that it's safety. But I will go back to this the budget and the show and the private jet. The private jet is difficult because I only use private jets. The only reason is if you go on YouTube, I'll just look at it right now. You go on YouTube, you can find Ellen use private jet. It just happened that social media was not active at that time, so a lot of people don't know. They'll say, "Oh, Ellen used," but she did, because it's impossible to travel around the sub-region without using private jet. The Unity Party know that. They know that. So that is not the issue. The issue, they were wicked. They know exactly. They know that the people are gullible. I will come to that. I will go for that. They know that, right? So we should not be, focusing on, the president in private jet. They know that. The budget, right? The budget, they're 100,000. You think they don't know? The same structure of the mansion under Ellen, the same structure there. All the guys in there were around. You think they don't know 100,000 small? But it's a flash. One thing about the Unity Party, they're so smart. They know how gullible, how weak certain Liberian mind is. So they flash you with 100,000 and they put that budget somewhere. You think they don't know that? You think the mansion don't know 100,000 is small? But just to confuse you. Then you will say, oh, maybe they thought the papier were not traveling. They know the papier will travel. They know the papier going here to Guinea-Bissau, that private jet, 100,000 finish. They know that. But because they understand that certain Liberian people are very stupid, so they know that. That I can tell you. Because they know that those people who will say, oh, you this, you that, so they play in the stupidity of certain Liberian people. And we have to call it and let people come to their mind. They play this tape on Dillon, accusing the current vice president for traveling with private jets, and we'll call him up to go after GMB. Play that tape.
Okay.
Once you heard you didn't talk with the private jet, just 15 seconds. Yeah, you want me to talk about that one, right? Yeah, 15 seconds. The vice president flew on a private jet offered by a friend was wrong. John Biase and Frank in private jet, and he was flying it from Mora. And it was criticized. And so saying it was wrong. If we change John Biase, then we can't do the same thing, or there's no need to have changed him.
Okay. Yeah, listen, take it up, guys. If we change George Weah, and we'll come and do the same thing. I'm calling on Dillon to say the same thing to JMB. Tell him he's wrong for using private jets. Why would change George Weah? They know that. They know that is wrong, but they're doing it anyway because they feel that some of the Liberian people are stupid. I rest.
Wow.
Let me just recognize our friend in Granjida Zwedru, Samuka Keita. Our show is Samuka's live on radio on Smart FM, based in Zwedru, Granjida. Samuka Keita, he's watching live. He's a program director and talk show host from Smart FM, based in Zwedru. Samuka, I want to say thank you for simulcasting the closing argument for our Granjida, our people in Granjida to monitor you live. This show will be rebroadcast tomorrow again on Smart FM in Granjida. So he repeat this show will be given on Smart FM in Granjida. So guys, we are live. So we got people that simulcast our show for live, and Samuka is one of those. Want to say thank you, Samuka. Let's hear from Chuchu Jones. Well, you want to say something?
So let me correct Sylvester here, because I think he's wrong to say that the prime minister is his foreign minister, also the foreign minister of the UK. That's not correct. It's called the foreign secretary, and currently is David Cameron.
What did I say?
I said the
foreign minister.
The people.
I said foreign minister.
Prime minister is different from the foreign minister.
No, you didn't get me. And so listen now, you didn't get me. And this is what I said. I said the former prime minister of the UK, David Cameron, is the current foreign secretary, foreign minister of the UK.
Correct. Okay. Good.
That's what I said.
Thank you for the clarification.
So, no, it's not clarification.
I was send you to the university to go teach.
No. If there's you are never attentive, and Gustav doesn't comprehend well. So there was no comprehension problem.
Okay. All right. No. Thanks for the clarification. But yes, my thing, and I want to say, one of the reasons why I like this show, and that one of the show I will promote or talk good about, because I think this is the only show that you have independent views. You got the CDC people, you got, I don't know, the Unity Party people that Gonglo, because Gonglo, I think they form alliance with the state government.
That Grace that
No, Grace is independent. Grace,
No. Grace are Unity Party.
You have to understand.
Money for the Unity Party, the extension for the Unity Party. So that
Grace share my views, because Grace is one of the few people who were able to look beyond the CDC and the Unity Party and said they look at people who have not come into this government before. They look at young people. When I mean young people, I mean young, qualified, capable people who can go on radio station and explain the policy of which George Weah could not do, or which Joseph Boga could not do. But many of you, you're jumping behind these people. Then today, you're questioning, you're sitting, scratching your head and saying Joseph Boga this, Joseph Boga did. George Weah was in power for 5 years. And so it's hypocrisy for anybody in CDC to criticize Joseph Boakai. Let us do the criticism, because we were the one who said do not support Joseph Boakai. Look for other people. You cannot support me, but I would never support any recycled politician in Liberia. In fact, during the election, I was supporting young people from all around the counties. I was helping them with the campaign to unseat these guys, while you guys were there. Because the men are CDC. Because I will tell you why I would not support any of them. George Weah in itself may not be a bad person. But the other Liberian people understand, when you bring George Weah, you bring Jefferson Kochi, you bring Samuel Twe, you bring all these people. You bring Ellis Cummings, you bring Louis Brown, you bring all the people behind him. You bring Boakai, you bring Amar Kone, you bring all the people behind him. You bring Alice Jones, you bring new people, completely new people. You're not seeing one minister or deputy minister. You're not going to see the Sylvester then are sitting around here.
You gotta stop paying for the
now. Yo, they want Kanye now. They want actors. They're so independent. They want actors. They're so Sylvester, you're not working in my government. You can go teach. Any school you want to teach. But your time is over. We need new people.
You can
go teach. I will get tenure to the University of Liberia, any university, but your time in government, Joseph Boakai and George Weah, the time is over. We have plenty of new people. Because the thing about helmet, right? I'm a cyclist. I ride 20 miles on the road.
I'm giving a little bit of time, because you guys kept interrupting him, though. To be fair.
You see Lofa in my government, you see all the new people. Don't old people, don't recycle people.
Thank you, Alex.
About helmet. What I'm trying to say is this. I'm not against
Alex, close up and make that in 15
just 30 seconds, right?
Close up,
I'm not
15
against safety. Okay, I cycle myself, but it has to be an educational thing. What I noticed these things are doing now, so that policemen can start harassing people, collecting money, people trying to go to school.
Thank you.
You can't fix, like you have cancer, you can't put a band-aid to it. You even got stop sign and red lights in the country.
Thank you.
Talking about safety.
Thank you.
Start with that.
Thank you.
Can I get 30 seconds? Can I get 30 seconds? Quick. Let me get quick 30 seconds.
All right.
The only way you can have certain things in Liberia, like if you want your vision to cross Alex and any other person, we got to start with education. And the first thing is we got to tackle the people that bring in the lies into Liberia. When June 7 were happening, all the lies that were told on June 7, some of you should have debunked the June 7. Most of the guys then, but the entire opposition black supported that June 7, and that June 7, a lot of things came in. For example, let's talk about quick, guys, the 16 billion, right? We all know 16 billion, over 100 and something million US dollar. One person taking the packet and go. A container of money behind the president's house. You build 47-story building in 2 months, in 3 months. If we don't stop all those lies, right? Then you will not get space, Alex. You will not get space.
Thank you, Kev.
Mr. Cummings will not get space. Moneyball will not get space.
You don't buy that argument, you think. You have BS, you have information.
Guys, let Kev land so somebody else can
will prevail.
Yeah,
let me tell you, you know what defeated us? Lies. So the liars will prevail, and the liars are prevailing in Liberia. There will be no space for you, Alex. There will be no space for Moneyball. There will be no space for Mr. Cummings. Nobody, because the liars will prevail. And the liars showing your age today now.
Kev, thank you.
Sylvester Peewee.
Yeah, thank you very much. Alex, I don't think there will be space for me in your government, because one of the reasons I was fond of you at the time when we started the whole process, I told most of our folks that we had one of our guys come in. And when they looked, they didn't see you. They believe that you deceived them.
I boycotted
listen, you know what they said to me?
Alex,
they said to me they would delete me in the history of our politics if I ever associate with you, because there's no space for you there. They say you are a runaway presidential candidate, and then you are a deceptive presidential candidate. So they don't want to see you.
Can I respond to what
No, you're not responding. I'm responding to you.
Let him land. When your time,
the man's trying to tarnish my reputation.
They say you are a runaway presidential candidate.
When you're opportune to speak, then you can include that in your.
And I will be leaving soon. But let me say this: they said the only presidential candidate that said he wanted to be president will be candidate that did not even go back to the country to register during the voter registration process. They saw that as a huge deception on your part. They believe someone that got the mindset to transform the country will not do so. So, quick, fast forward. Let me say this. There's a lot of things, Alex, about this issue about recycled politicians. Our country process, you always going to rely on the recycle. People always have to be recycled. Even if you want to be president tomorrow, you will appoint some of the guys that have served the country past time. It's difficult to preclude absolutely everybody. Now, the major of someone spoke about the foreign policy of the past government. No, George, we are own foreign policy process. It was a very protracted, huge issue with partnership development and economic diplomacy. That was the baseline of the foreign policy instrument that we deployed on the part of the president at the time. It was a generational thought process. Don't laugh. I'm saying to you, there was a very successful process about productive thinking. That's the foreign policy mechanism. That mechanism, George, we are deployed. It's unfortunate that we that served at the time as his protege, and people deny it. And Kev said something very profound just now. George Weah did not win the election because of negative propaganda. The propaganda, we allowed the propaganda to consume us. We did not allow ourselves to deflect all of those unnecessary criticism that came along Georgia. There was no 16 billion that got missing. Crow report indicated that. There was absolutely nothing. This man, the former president of His Excellency, the man worked for his own money. The issue about building 48 condominium also penetrated. I can recall the former Congressman Edward Ross, when I came with the first trip June 10, 2018. At the Congress, we met him with the foreign minister, Bezonga Fine. You know what he said to Bezonga that day in my presence? He said, we get the information your president is building. These were things that were coming out. Bezonga had to explain to him. He said, but your government is not coming to Washington, D.C. to tell the story. He emphasized this. He said, your government is not coming to Washington, D.C. to tell the story, and they're going to go against you. And eventually, he was even trying to help us to do some lobbying process with the government. When we met, I think we met this woman, Levinsky. We met her in DC and the other thing. And there's a lot of issues that were unfolding at the time in this country. And unfortunately, we didn't have the we didn't work to deflect those things. It hampered the real administration in terms of those things. Quickly, before I land.
We need show on Mars in Liberia. We need a whole show on that.
Quickly before I land. Few seconds before I land.
On Mars,
this process about this motorcyclist process in our country is not the first time. And when Madam Salif done, this thing started.
Thank you.
And they're like somebody just quickly saying they should educate people. No, they don't educate all yet to new seatbelt. When police, they don't educate nobody at the new seatbelt.
Thank you, Peewee. Thank you. Thank you.
So we have to just collectively as people move to do things that will save all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you. Have a wonderful evening. I'll be running, man. Chuchu, I will call you, man. Long we talk yet.
Yeah, for Chris.
You're not working my government.
No problem.
Man, we are the governor.
Yeah, you see that I'm gonna be the dictator. That dictator coming here. Lofa, we gotta do something with it now.
Well, I brought the detector right now to tell you the truth. So.
And Chuchu, call the hell all the people for everything.
No, already no. All our conversion doing a deal already.
Yeah, we'll be doing our pop diet in a weekend.
Chris.
Yeah. So since
yeah, after Grace, we'll be going to the phone lines.
Since Alex,
so tell me, I'm not. Oh, anyway.
Oh yeah, Lofa, I'm sorry, I forget Lofa anyway. After Grace, we'll go to the phone line.
Okay.
You guys see
okay. Since Alex brought in a political party, I identify with Lanu, and I just want to say hi, Dr. Moniba, you watching? Happy Wednesday. What Peewee just said about concerning George, we are building the houses. I know that maybe everybody say we are having money. I don't believe he had any money, to be fair. I thought he had it and then he did not have it at one point in time. But getting into the presidency and just building houses right away, it doesn't show any good sign. People don't do things like that. When you are ran
what talking about
and you put into office, it's your duty to focus on your position and focus on helping the people in the country, not to start building houses. So he was wrong for doing that. So he was destroyed at any country or any government. The people saw it for themselves because they took the picture of the houses and they posted it. But I just.
But you see, Grace, I will interrupt you. That's the problem, because you know why I will interrupt you.
Why?
Joe, we have never started building the houses in 2018 when he took office, because they brainwash you guys and it's stuck there, and you go with it, and that's why he elected Joe Buckeye. Because of that mindset, that's why Joe Buckeye is there today.
Great job, guys. Are building houses. Are
you guys ready? Going to hide back the time?
Yeah, they're not letting me speak.
You guys not
and I said this.
No, but somebody
can show me
Kev just hijacked the lady's time. Kev just hijacked the lady's time.
But the brainwash you guys.
Let her land.
And
you can debunk it when your time is available, but let her land.
Do your due diligence.
Yes, let her land. Kev, let her land.
No, we can't allow these things to fly because it's destroying the country.
Now you wanna respond to somebody else. Let it land. Go ahead.
Yeah. Even though he did not start building the houses when he became president, but everything finished so quick when he sat in his seat, and it was just a wrong kind of way to show your presidency.
If I was
advising him, if I wanted, I'm very strategic, I would have never allowed him to build those houses in his first 2 years. I want to let him wait for the 10 years. So the people too around him never really gave him well when it comes to advice and stuff like that. But I just want to do a quick teachable moment here for the helmet wearing. So it would be a good thing for the show, because we keep complaining, but we're not telling the people. So the riding using helmet is very important in the society. Number one, for safety. Wearing a helmet is good because just in case of accident, collision, your head will be safe. Anybody body damage, the people can always try to fix it, but when your head is damaged, sometimes you will die. Most majority of the cases, you will die in the situation. Another thing is the legal requirement. It's legal for you to wear helmet, just how my brother was saying that. Yeah, they don't teach you how to how they call this, wear the seatbelt. They just tell you this is the regulations and you have to abide by it. Wearing helmet is a regulation, and if like President Obama put it in place, the country should abide by it and listen and do what it's supposed to do. Wear your helmet. It is important for your own safety. Another thing is visibility. When you're wearing the helmet, it often comes with bright colors. So I saw some helmets there online. It's dark. Just stop making dark colors helmet. The helmet needs to be bright colors so that they can be visible. People can see it when you're coming in the night or in the day. The colors alone will show cars that you guys are on that bike. Setting a good example for our children. Like they lack setting example for the children. We don't set example for our children. We do all kinds of things, and the children learn from that. So if you wear a helmet, your child will know that it's right for you to wear helmet. So when they get on the body, will make sure they demand that they have a helmet to wear. And it will, it will go a long way in a society when we all leave this world. Our children will carry on that particular tradition to wear helmet because it's a legal thing. And then it just give you a peace of mind. Anytime you go in a car, you safe. You wear your seatbelt, you safe. You feel the car hit, you will be protected. See when you fall from the bike, you will be protected from your helmet. So it's just a safety thing. It give you peace of mind. And then so they say the overall is wearing a helmet while riding a bike is important safety measures that can help prevent serious head injuries and promote safe cycling practices. So you just like keep our country safe. Other country you gotta stand in line to get on the bus, and the people will stay in the line. And just everybody should wear their helmet. Thank you.
Thank you.
The people, the helmet come make money like bro. They come first, but there should be safety worth it. They shouldn't just make anything. I see people facing top. Now we gotta be serious in that country. Let's be frank. If facing top now, no, we gotta be serious in that country. Helmet business. And
so who will buy for the passenger? Who will buy the owner helmet? Who will buy it?
Oh, if you get helmet, then you can ride because the passenger they ride.
No, okay. So all Liberians should go buy helmet and put it there.
No. Kev. Okay. So every bag must carry 2 helmets.
So it's the bikers will buy the
yes.
But
they must buy it.
Let me ask you. So you think the prices will go up because they
I think it has even gone up
because of the demand.
I think
any company open helmet,
so it's gonna be a squeeze. It's gonna be a squeeze on the people again, so the people start paying more.
Well,
because there are some people who are raising health situation and say, oh, one bag rider, for example, is going to transport between 100 or 200 persons a day. So you know how many other persons will use that one helmet. So what comes into play now is you own your own helmet, you get it with you. Anytime you want to get, or you put your own helmet on your head.
It's a great point.
You get your
communicable disease. Then imagine.
Well, we'll keep on complaining, but they will happen. That could not change. Which I could got to change some kind of way.
Buy your own helmet and have it with you.
So let me couple things that.
The reason why I'm putting parts on the head now because they ain't getting money.
So couple things that was said. First of all, the statement Pee Wee made about people not being educated here about seatbelt, that is not true. That's false. Okay, and the education come in when you do traffic safety. If you're riding with anybody, the minute you sit in that car behind the wheel, they will tell you got to put on your seatbelt. When you go to take your test, your driver, or when you go to get your driver's license, whoever is administering the test will not move or not allow you to move that vehicle until you have your seatbelt buckle. And if you don't, you will fail. That's part of the education. Okay. Unfortunately, that is not available in Liberia. So the issue of us not having education here or we are not being educated on it, that is not true. As a matter of fact, from grade school, you are taught to put your seatbelt on, and that is the reason why it is mandatory. And after you have graduated from that stand, because of the way the system works, you realize that if you're caught driving without your seatbelt, you will have to pay the citation when cited. So the education is there, and the system works to support the education of that part of the thing. So there is no excuse to that. With President Weah's assets and people trying to justify it would have been easy for him to actually defend his position that he came to the presidency as a millionaire, and he just declared and published his asset and gave the people the opportunity to review this information for themselves. So he won't have been sitting there trying to justify anything. And the same way President Boycott and other people are doing today, President Weah said he was doing it to protect his family. It probably would have been easier for him, Kev, you and Pee Wee today, where you would have been like, hey, the information is out there. You already knew what he had. So I don't see why you guys are trying to make it seem as though the people are wrong for assuming that President Weah came to the presidency broke, and then upon his ascendancy to the presidency, he started to build those homes because he refused to disclose his asset. With that said, I support the idea of helmet, and I think we can go forward from there. Thank you.
Peabody, you want to we'll go to the lines?
Yeah, I think it is important. I think we should applaud the effort of people who are trying to bring safety to our country. The thing about opposition is not just to kick against everything. There are times that we must be able to deduce from one level and say whether it is good or not. That make you a very responsible and healthy opposition when you can deduce and come up and say, yeah, the president or whoever did this. I think the issue of helmet, I think it's a good start and to help our people, and let's see what benefit it will bring in terms of reducing death for the Liberian people. But I do see that as a good step, because if you go to JFK, there are a lot of people there who have been wounded from a motorcycle. I've been to that unit before. I've seen hundreds of Liberians that are there. Some die on the spot. So let ensure. I think that will be a good thing. And I love to be very much objective when it comes to certain things. And also touching on the president home. They said the president was building his home from start. I think the optics was bad at the time because he had just become president, and I think the optic was just bad at the time. You could have said, "Hey, I'll put a stop to this" and all of that. But I think Liberians, political leader, have to be fair to the people. How in the world you declare asset but you can't make it public? What are you declaring? All the laws are there. Since when Liberians started going to the Liberian anti-corruption, say the filing to get people access and things, all those nonsense need to stop. I think Joe Baka ran on the mantra of saying that he's going to be transparent, he's going to undo some of the things, the corruption or whatever that George Weah did, then he needs to prove it. But we cannot continue to see the same thing, okay, that we saw. And you were blaming George Weah, you were going there, you were staging protests, you were going to America, doing this, and then we come right back and see the same thing. Not because George Weah did it, then you got to do it. But also, and then I'll end here. I believe President Weah had a good heart for Liberia, but there was a serious recklessness. There were some people in that government. There were warning signs. You made mistakes in some area. There were warning signs. You should have just said, you know what, we'll change. But it was like repeatedly going on. Every day was something new. Every time was something new. I believe he had a good intention, but when he surrendered himself with some of these Gorbachev, the Liberian people will say it, bad Gorbachev, people stealing, doing things. Some of them he did not even know what was going on, and he did not keep himself in the loop to know what was going on. So I think there was some recklessness on his part. So I will find it very, if I was a citizen, I will wait before I even start criticizing, because it's not too different from what you did. Thank you.
Well, thank you, guys. As we answer you, get ready. We go to the lines. Before we go to the lines, let me say this: it's important. People say something very, very, very important. You can be opposition, you can wherever you want to be, but when it comes to this good of this country, put it first. So anything good for the country, you can't just oppose everything, even if you like the government in power. You see what happened in America today. The people talk about the border. They came out. They had a bipartisan approach. One of the most conservative senators in the country, Senator Langford from Oklahoma, he was involved he was the lead negotiator. Came up with a very good bipartisan bill, but because the opposition guys, Trump said it will make the other man look good, so they killed that bill. But I'm happy that they finally agreed to have a debate now. Two of them, the two women will be debating. I will be interested in debate. See the two people debate. Two of them, Biden and Trump. I really want to see it. But guys, let's get back to Liberia. I want to say thank you, guys. Man, Peabody said something good. Look, you can't oppose anything. If something like you can criticize, be objective. If something good for the country, try to push it forward. Not everything we oppose. But guys, let's go to the line. We got the first caller line. Our man from KMTV, Cyrus McGee, is on the line. Go ahead, Cyrus.
St. Tomalin, George, it's good to be on with you. I mean, congratulations to you guys. Very powerful show, the wonderful panelists. I'm wondering how is Grace surviving, but when I look, she's a powerful force indeed. And all of the guys are wonderful. Good to see my former boss and colleague Alexander Biede, a very astute guy indeed. We worked together for a long time. Former manager of Royal Communications when I was director of radios there. So he brings a lot to the microphone and to the platform. And let me just speak up from where you stopped, Tomalin. You talk about bipartisan. I remember when Senator John McCain had to make the Senate of the U.S. filibuster when he traveled from his sickbed to help rescue the Obamacare.
Yeah.
We all knew where it was in this country.
2 a.m.
Somebody talking about, that's where people need to know that partisan politics. Liberia first. And when I look around and see people that were making all of the noise about George Weah flying private jets all around the place yesterday I listened to President Blanca when he arrived. There was a single question asked by a journalist from Scott. Mr. President, talking about you riding, commercial flight. He said, yes, I will ride except I'm giving an offer. So when George Weah were offered before, it was a crime. Today, just in less than 48 hours, we saw the president hopping onto a private jet leaving the country. It is left with us to all investigate and see the souls behind that, whether it is Liberia's money, like other people said. We cannot be hypocrites in our country. We cannot deceive our people. Where are the people, the lawmakers who amplify their voices? Senator Darius DeLong, non-chairman on foreign relations. Senator Yomli Kaka Lawrence from my own grandmaster, who's now president pro tempore. Where are you people on these issues? We hope that the people will know that Liberia first, Liberia last. The issue of Liberia must be amplified, and we must use our platforms to make sure we can shine the light on the issue of the motorcyclists. Trust me, I drove in Monrovia. I saw, like Alex said, after 10 o'clock p.m., if you don't have a vehicle, you're on your own. Motorcyclists will gang around your vehicle, knock your car. Once you look on the left, they're breaking the right window to get in and get what they can get from. Wow. It will still be happening. These measures are good. Timeliness matter. It is today I saw the police regulation all over Facebook pushing it. You must do this, you must do that. A month and a half ago, when our own brother Gregor Coleman started the entire negotiation with the motorcyclists, tricyclists, were these measures public? No. Today is the 15th. They are out there. So people should just suck up to them. What about people who are leaving Gunnersville, Broadville to town today? And you know that you have to get out there with helmets or riding with helmets. Do they know that only one rider and a passenger and everybody must carry a helmet? Today I jokingly posted on my page, Tomalin, that if I was in Liberia and I have to ride motorbike, I would carry my own helmet because we all know what happened. I cannot wear nobody face care. We can be the same brothers on the same mouth. I can't wear your face care, at least to say helmet. Safety issue matters. What are those things? So we need to put our ideas together. The national network should be used in all the vernaculars to disseminate these messages. Because just sitting on different talk shows, on different radios and speaking it is not going out to our people. But thanks to you guys, and we wish Liberia all the best. These things are necessary, but timeliness matter. We should not just do things that will just be smoke screen tomorrow morning. We see people out there protesting, and it's a whole different thing for Liberia. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. That's the voice of Cyrus Joel McGee, one of our upcoming and promising journalists. A great guy, a nice gentleman. Good to have you on the show. Ansu, you take
call.
Before Ansu take call, Ansu, congratulations
on
your graduation. So the panel, we collected something for you, and that the Peabody will make sure he reach to you. Congratulations, brother. We clap for you.
Thank you.
Okay.
So take you to the course coming.
Yeah, so you can hit us on 777-28 5961 077-28 5961. For those of you who are in Liberia abroad, you can hit us on +231 777-8 5961. Good evening. Hello? Can you please walk away from your monitor, please? Okay, go ahead. What do you mean too many now? What do you mean is too many? So don't you want to register your bike? Don't you want to register your bike? Don't you want to have helmet as the police spokesman said? The insurance. Okay. Okay, so meaning we can get our jacket, we can get our helmet, we can have our bike registered. It's just about the insurance indeed. Let God give us some time. It's what motorcyclists are putting in. Go ahead. You say your name again? All right, Pascal, go ahead. Okay, Pascal. Thank you so much. Thank you, Pascal. Thank you, Pascal. We have the line so much basic, so it is a back-to-back calls. Keep coming in. I cannot just hold you on. I have to pick up more calls right here. What evening? Hello. Yeah, you are live from closing argument. Okay, go ahead. Unity Party stories back for different localities. We for Singapore, we have different colors. We have different colors. So when the people were living from power, they had that spray of water that was the water by white. So the power is not of bringing some kind of pocket gains, which will be for who? Those people that will be saying him for them to get some kind of particular love hill. Okay. Unity Party. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. I cannot just go on. Keep it on. I don't know whether we have a call from Lofa.
Yeah, I got a call here. Let me bring this caller real quick. Caller, your name and where you calling from? Let's hear from you.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening to everybody, Grace, and all the guys on the show. It's amazing that for you guys to always take the time to come and share ideas and put our country first to discuss the good thing that we all want.
Caller, share with the caller. Do me a favor, please. Caller, share your name and where you calling from, please.
Peter Lawrence Lonte calling from Massachusetts.
Thank you. Go ahead.
Okay. Concerning this whole private jet business, Lofa, I will tell you the main reason why Unity Party criticized this thing. I think there are a couple of reasons, but maybe I'll name one or two. The first thing is because of chronic jealousy. I see Lofa riding a BMW. I'm not able to ride a BMW. I feel Lofa don't deserve that BMW. Chronic jealousy. Liberian people, we are jealous to the extent that we can even find me for that. He said that Georgia shouldn't be, although he's president, but he said he didn't deserve it. The people that deserve it are Bogart now. That's one reason. The second reason could be they didn't just see George Weah as someone. It almost intertwined. They didn't just see him as someone that should be president for the country. As such, he don't deserve anything good. The other people, all citizens and other people, that's exactly why you see now they're going behind people in position that they think you don't deserve it. In our country, the more we continue to live in this kind of situation or in this life, we're not going anywhere. Look at it, Lofa. You take a foreign minister from there, you bring the same different foreign minister, everybody following the same path. Nobody coming with anything innovative. Nobody coming with anything new. Everybody that can, look at the transport minister, see how they do inspection. Every day they go put gate down. You show your car. Why? Everybody following the same pattern. The same thing you do, I cannot do the same thing. Nobody teaching anything. The only thing you do, change your position. Change me from the airport, Lofa there, take over from the airport, Keff. Take care of the other person. That's what we're doing, like, we're not making anything different. And we'll continue to live in the same cycle as long as the mentality is not changing. Nothing will change, bro. We got a long time to talk. Thank you, guys. Let's continue to discuss the country. Maybe one day we'll get the best one.
Thank you. That's it from my end. I don't have another caller. So answer you can.
Yeah. So let's continue from this end here. Because this caller. Good evening. You're live. Go ahead. Okay. Right. We are taking risks, we are risking or it's correct. And you see, certain measures will also carry him, him. Don't not wish certain protocol to looking at fluid to be another form of, giving signal from one point to another. Again, when it comes to we are motorcycles, we are plenty in this system. And you know that when people are being concentrated on an area, they are hard to work with it. That one of the things they should be looking at. When they tell them, I said, I can remember, it is taking to treat us. The government of Liberia, they seem to be in power. They say they want to wait to treat us, to give us some vocational learning, to collect that money and equal it. What kind of issue? Scratch card. Some of the people with scratch card. Some of travel. Those traveling out of country and they get bring. How much for scratch card? Hello? Hello? Caller? Caller, are you getting me? I said, how much for scratch card? How much are you getting it from your end? How much you getting the MTN or the Lone Star, Orange? How much are you getting scratch card for now? Which community is that? Which community? Which community? Okay. Okay. Okay, definitely we're going to pack our bike and go to government to give us job. Exactly right here on
I have a
argument.
I have a caller.
Yeah.
I have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Good evening, guys. Good evening to all of the panelists and the panelists on the show. Let me take this time to commend your effort for helping to make our country better, man. This is Abraham Conner calling from the state of New Jersey. Listen, real quick, let me commend the effort to try to institute some safety measure with regards to the bikers in Liberia. The unfortunate thing about it is that the mechanism to put into place, because this thing cannot be done instantaneously. It's a process, safety-wise and everything else. But the haphazard way it's been done is going to create more problem than the safety itself they're talking about. That's one. And Tomalin, to just close off, what you mentioned about people commending efforts of government, even if you're opposition or imposition or whatever it is, Tomalin, it is it's a good thing to think about it, but it's going to be a hard sell. Reason being, you're talking about things that are so also intangible, but you're talking about things that are tangible. A president built a place, and he dedicated in less than a month and came back, a door was locked in front of him. As we speak today, the sitting president has even mustered the courage to extend an apology to that president. Are you telling me that the people that support that man, they're going to be all in arms to commend the effort of this government? It's a hard thing. George Weah, when he became president, when he dedicated the Japan Freeway, he didn't even just go there to dedicate it. He called the president of President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf to dedicate that place. Because why? He appreciated the effort that she started that work over there. Though it ended on his presidency, but she commended his effort for that. The executive mansion that they are using today, from 2005 until 2019, George Weah completed that project. No commendation have ever come from at the time United Party was in opposition. For crying out loud, Tomalin, how can you speak this time around? I mean, I'm not scolding you for what you suggested is the logical thing to do, but people got to be objective on issues. The enmity that is brewing it has been exacerbated by the way things are unfolding. People need to think and think thoroughly. But I will take this opportunity to commend the government effort for the bike situation. It's just that they need to put the mechanism in place. Let me not take up your time, guys. Thank you very much for the effort.
Okay, I think we're done with calls now, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, let me just say something quickly, right? You know, the last caller, it's true though. On a serious note, with the country, the president won 50.6% of the votes. President Weah have 49.3%. The country it's divided, and I thought the best thing the president would have done was to try to unite the country. You know, yesterday was Unification Day. Liberia is more divided than ever time in our history. And three things: under the Unity Party government, it's true that the executive mansion got burned, fire got to the executive mansion, and then what happened was every year money was being put in the budget for the first executive mansion every year, but then we know where the money was going. But then on President Weah, to give them credit, I toured the mansion. I went the entire mansion, the office, the president is in. I went all over that place, and that mansion today looks like you think in a warehouse. I mean, it looks it's so nice. They spent a lot of money there, and they got it renovated. That's our pride, our country's official seat. And then also the PHP Park, Unification Park, where 13 people was executed. That place, you went to that place, you think you're in some part of Europe. And then also the RIA VIP lounge. But like the caller said, you would think that the president or somebody would have commended it. I mean, it understood there's a government money they use, but the idea to commend your predecessor, say, look, I want to always recognize them, thank them, for what they left there, something like that. They're time to criticize, they're time to praise. So it's true. These are important places. And when the tourism people came to Liberia recently, I saw them taking the bus road going to the PHP Park. And that place, I remember when I first in that place, people were critical. But then when I look, some of the people arrived on the ship, the guy in the bus, they were going to the PHP Park, and everybody was happy to go to such a place. It's good, but sometimes it's good to recognize your political opponents for something good they have done. That's why sometimes on the debate stage, they can ask you, what can you say good about your opponent? Sometimes you say something about that person. It's very important. But right now, throughout the country, where I want to put to you guys. Well, what's happening in Liberia? Do you believe that our politics will start earlier than expected? We thought it would have started 2027 or 28. But I'm afraid that this election will start this year.
It already started.
Because I'm telling you, the way the things are going, I already see the coalition, the rescue coalition, they have started to fall apart. They're falling apart. And I can tell you, and my prediction is that before December, there'll be a major crack in the rescue coalition. One of the powerful person will come up, and I can tell you they will go after the entire rescue team. What's your prediction, people? You think that the coalition will stay together up to December, or you think 2029 will start earlier than expected? That's just my thought. But you guys we can start wrapping up, so we can start talking. Yes.
Let me get kind of right after you, because the point you're making about opposition criticizing, okay? Look, I'm not going to praise a government just for the sake of praising a government. That's the problem we have in Liberia. Praising a government for doing a job is like going to the ATM, putting your card in and getting your money and taking the bank. If they do something exceptional beyond the scope, I will praise them. For example, when President Weah stepped down, we only lose with a very narrow margin between he and Joseph Boakai. I was one of the first person that came on my Facebook page and published. That was a good thing he did. And God bless him for that, because he could have raised a lot of issues. But yes, a government, okay? We're in the 6 years and we do the economics of the country. You spend over $2.5 billion, 500 million every year on the budget. Then on top of that, you took 1.1 billion in debt. And you can't build a PHP park that you got from the climate, from the, what do you call it, the Emiratis that give you climate credit, and build a 300,000. That's what you want to praise you for? Is there somebody breaking in your house, taking your TV, your bed, your car, and they turn around and they say, you know what? It's one chair here. So that government gets no praise. They fail in every economic metrics. The Liberian people were worse off than when they got there. Today, people are suffering in our country. The medical facility, the schools, the children, parents are suffering. That CDC government, as it was a complete failure. We come down to the Boakai administration. All right? Because for me, it's not political. I'm not saying things here for people to like me or people do not like me. Whoever Liberian people want, they will always get. My job is to say the truth. Josh Weah, the honorable thing he can do is to transform his political party and look for smart people who he can support for that party to survive. Any idea of coming back would be a disaster on his part. because he got a little bit of good credit. Joseph Boakai already has proven to be failure. We said it from the beginning. This man was not qualified. Every position he held, he's corrupt. I was the only one. I was on Judah's show. I said all the recycled politicians in Liberia are very inherently corrupt. They are benefited. They take the money. They pay themselves. They send the children to school. The children graduate from top universities in Liberia on Liberia. We're there to praise. The issue of education for helmet is not a government. That's a thing that should be left even with the district and the police. We're talking about serious problem in a country where over 50% of the people living above below the extreme poverty level. You're talking about a country that owe almost $2.7 billion, where they're taking all the money, billions of dollars over the years, and it's being transferred from the state to individuals. What's there to press? Let's look for new people. In the era that I come from in corporate America, they gave 3 months. We saw in the Great Britain, the people changed 6 prime ministers in 4 years. Theresa making it in 3 months time, she was elected and they got her out.
Thank
That's
you,
serious people.
Thank you, Alex.
Why in Liberia we gotta give praise? I'm not gonna praise people being
Let me come in.
Thank you.
Let me come in with my closing. Guys, again, good show. But let me say this. The definition of CDC government was a failure. I don't know. Where, but
Not
maybe
economic.
Alex,
Metric.
all the policy that CDC government institutes, this government
It's applying the same thing.
This government still using that same policy. Harmonization and anything you look at, the structure, everything is still, it tells me that they know it's working. They know it's working. And I said that when I used to be in my former network, and I dare the Unity Party or dare any government to come after post-war or after Madame Ellen, with all the help that she got, I dare any government would take away harmonization without more foreign help into our economy. I dare any government would take away free education for university. I dare any government to take away WAEC. Everything that is that the CDC government put in place, I dare any government to take it out and see what will happen to them. I dare any government, unless you have unless your domestic unless your domestic revenue beef up.
What can the boss say?
You understand? So a lot of people will come will say you feel, but you still use the same policy that CDC, the same mechanism, the same thing. It shows that even if Alex Cummings was the president, right, he will not take it out because the people need it. It's a basic thing. You cannot take free education out because it's working. Because when you look at it, more people in school than before. So we will look at all the component, all the area, all the four corners. Let them, and we'll dare them, and we'll dare them again. Dylan was talking the budget. They signed. Dylan signed on that budget that kept the same thing. The same thing. So I don't know what to talk about. What you guys will talk about. We were not there. We were not there because we needed, to take the country for where the country were. But in the middle of us taking the country to a better place, and now you're brought in disaster to take the country backward. But 30 seconds, I beg you, my brother. 30 seconds. The agenda the agenda of the Unity Party and what they imagine, what they want to do to Liberia by taking people out of job. For me, and I would tell anybody, and I would say, for me, I want the Unity Party to fail. I want this government to fail.
Thank you.
A lot of people will say, why you want the government to fail? I want this government to fail. My prayer every day that the government will fail. Let me tell you. Wait, tell a second. Let me explain.
It's over already.
Wait, I beg you. I beg you.
Another 30 seconds.
We'll stay. I look at the clock. We'll take a small time. Let me say this to you, right? Yeah. If you're going to take people out of job, if that's your policy, I want you to fail. I want you to fail. It's certain things they're going to do. If you're going to go to Kinjor and shoot people because they're protesting, I want you to fail. Their policy that you will come back and give them $5,000 for their lives, I want you to fail. So the policy and the agenda of this government that they will kill a citizen and give them $5,000, I want them to fail. So my prayer every day for the GMB to fail, for him to leave Liberia and come to America to sit down with Kosovo president. And when you go back, you say, oh, they're making friends. I want you to fail. So my prayer every day, I want Joseph Yimon Buckeye government to fail. That's my prayer every day. Because of
thank you. Can I come in? Can I come in now?
Yeah,
so, go ahead. Yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Now, I think, Kev and a lot of people talk about the whole misinformation or disinformation that surrounded the CDC government. But then the issue also had to do with how were you countering this misinformation and disinformation. The same thing is happening today with the Unity Party. There are many of our brothers, when they get in government, they now take out their whole political jacket and they're doing a complete different thing. Check most of the ardent Unity Party people. You know what they're doing now? They all talk about sports now. Politics is no longer their thing. They wake up in the morning, they talk about what Chelsea Jet did with. Check the cast pitches. All the things you and myself, all the things you and myself talk on the show here every day, they make no sense out of it anymore. Because for them, they are not in opposition again. It doesn't make sense. You see, misinformation and disinformation can go far. You see, I heard my brother Ellis June, for example, talking about, oh, George, we have got people like Jefferson Kochi behind him, right? Because somebody has brainwashed you to believing that Jefferson Kochi is a terrible guy.
Thank you.
Misinformation and disinformation.
Thank you.
No. Listen, hold on.
Thank you,
You don't even know that here is this guy, for example, Mo Ali. Mo Ali posted, and several Liberians had that information, that Jefferson Kochi had bought a house worth $250,000 US. I think you heard about that.
Yes. Thank you.
Do you know that property is owned by the current vice president of the country, Jeremiah Kuhn? Do you know that?
Because they believe that Jefferson
Do you know
Kochi,
that?
Thank you.
But because Jefferson Kochi or nobody in the government at the time countered that the property that Jefferson Kochi was staying in, that everybody said he paid $250,000, there is a rental agreement between he and Jeremiah Kuhn.
But I don't think that's.
And do you know Jeremiah Kuhn is even requesting? Jeremiah Kuhn is even requesting that property as we speak.
Wait.
Jeremiah Kuhn.
Guys, let Ellis Lane.
Let me learn, please. Jeremiah Kuhn as we speak is requesting that property from Jefferson Kochi.
Let me 30 seconds. You see that picture that the Photoshop said that Koji was gone? You know who Koji were there? Tommy, what about name? Sheikh. Sheikh, who were the Unity Party now? Sheikh, who were the Unity Party at that time? He was with us. That he and Koji were walking. No gun was in their hand. They Photoshop it. So Photoshop that picture. So I asked them. I said, Sheikh, you on that picture? So you were carrying gun too? But you see how Grace take it, say that gun? But even though I Photoshop, you see how Grace believes.
Yeah,
you know,
so the
and-
picture
and-
that on Facebook.
No, Alex, you gave your time. You gave your time to Kev.
No, the man.
No,
you gave your time to Kev.
Ellen
you're not getting no time.
Ellen just said that to people. Ellen just said, I did not give it to them, they took it.
I took the man time. You ready?
So please, let me just wrap up here. But it's very serious and concerning the way we do things. Now, do you know there is a serious conflict between Jefferson Kochi and Jeremiah Kuhn regarding this property? Jeremiah Kuhn wants this property back now from Jefferson Kochi. Jefferson Kochi is saying to Jeremiah Kuhn, you will bring police people here, they will drag me from their place here before I move on there. Because the Liberian people will know that you are deceptive. You told them, you never spoke when everybody said, I bought this property $250,000 US for you. The fact you need it, he wanted for two reasons. I'm hearing he said he wanted for his wife to move in because his wife is, second lady of the country. She needs somewhere to work from, where they got the place for, I think, Group of 77. It's not good for her and all of that. Or he want to bring his daughter from the States to come move there, something like that. So the guy is saying, I can't move on that property. You will tell the Liberian people that the property is for you in the prime community of Single. Just before I go to, here is another thing. The hemp policy, nobody is against it. It's a very good policy. But the institutions, the transport ministry, I think somebody said that they're following the same policy over and over. Where you stand in the street in the morning, you put a huge line, you say everybody must take the train, they must make sure their cars are ready. Every day we do the same thing. The transport minister should be picking up to go negotiate with other transport companies. How can we get Uber here? How can we get Bolt here? How can we get Yanko here? They not ever did the same system.
Thank you.
And that's some of the problem we got. The National Transit Authority should be telling us how we get buses here. So all the people that stood on the streets today because no motorbike riding again, how can buses start coming to the country so people can get on the buses? We can't be bringing these policies, but we're not bringing any way to mitigate it.
Lofa, Miller, you know what?
Thank you, Alex. Thank you.
Lofa, Miller, you know what Photoshop is. Some of your sat down.
What is that?
That you know, when you look at that picture, you can tell that's your job. You're sat down in that country, you sat down, you let people like Grace and believe that will react one way.
What do you mean by let people like Grace and believe?
People like Grace and believe that.
Grace.
Look, Kev.
Yeah, man. Look for that your work that you can look at Photoshop, you can tell. But you're still like Grace and to bad
acting. Never some kind of sit in like where he did some stuff. So Photoshop, there was things that he did that was wrong. And so just be fair.
Let what?
Let that be fair to the
you can't Photoshop sex account and put you in that picture. Sex account campaign for JLP.
Look at the Valley Telly situation, for example.
Look at the Valley Telly situation.
Do you know the ruling that Alex, no. Alex, that ruling came on Unity government.
I need to respond to that man, to the CDC people.
All right.
Let me deal with the CDC people here. Let me deal with the CDC people because I have no difference in the broadcast people. Jefferson Kochi, Jefferson Kochi is not qualified.
I don't want to stop muting people.
I think Grace, I'm going before Grace.
No, you already know. I need to come in.
Guys, you can't.
Yeah, Grace continue.
We had a great show. Let us not turn this into another chaos.
Okay. Yeah, but they keep coming interrupting.
Crossfire time. Look for that crossfire time, okay?
I agree. After Grace, we get crossfire. Go ahead, Grace.
I will talk from the beginning where they're saying that Alex, I would like to disagree with you when it comes to recognizing the development and progress of any president. I think that they could have recognized the progress and development that George Weah did. I think Joseph Boga should have said it in his inauguration speech and appreciate President Weah at that point in time. I believe it should have been done. He did some stuff, but I think most of the time the Liberian people look at the incompetence of that government a lot more than what George Weah accomplished, because he accomplished some stuff, but he had a lot of incompetent people that were making too much noise, and they put themselves in the front. So they cover some of the good things that he did when they came to Liberia, and we wish that Joseph Wakaku, I recognize
How you expect Liberia to be
in his
better?
speech.
Like who?
Kev, let me talk now. And then
Yeah, you're just talking.
They call
How you allow Joe Biden to be president? Like who? Incompetent.
call and he talk about Eli Brewer. I wanted to recognize that caller. I think he's a bike owner. He was talking about the benefits of the insurance that they have to pay. But I just wanted to find out whether in Liberia how the insurance work for these bikes and things. Because if they're that expensive, do they have a liability or full coverage when the people buy sport? Are they fixing it for them, or maybe if the people have accident, are they taking it to the hospital? I don't believe so, because I know 2018 a bike rider hit my car and he was begging me to take him to the hospital because he said the insurance was not going to cover it. So if you're letting the people pay for insurance, you should make sure the insurance have the proper benefits just in case of anything, so they can benefit from paying insurance, not to just pay for being sick. And I also wanted to talk about the people that Kev talked only about. George, we have more people in school, and they were on WIAC. They were paid WIAC and free education for University of Liberia. But was there a quality education? That's our problem, because we see most of the training in school during George Weah time with all the free education and WIAC pay. No teachers in place to really teach them. They try making a post high school student. They can't even write a 15 sentence fully for you to understand. So free education is one type of quality education is also very important. So if you get free education with all the quality, then it's a useless education for the country. Not going to benefit our children, and the future of the nation will be destroyed in that way. So just putting things out there, free, there's a free there, and the quality is not behind it. We wonder, like the military hospital, you build a hospital, you don't even have enough qualified doctors to be in there. Why you build a building? So and these are the things that the Liberian people look at.
Wow, hospital that saved people during the COVID.
We talk about, and then as far as I see you're complaining about people getting killed, like right, I did hear that a lot of people dying, but it's not on social media because UP people or the new people announcing it now. They are in place. They do announce the mysterious killing that going on in Liberia. But one of the things that really struck me when we have a president was when Melvin early and I in this car. Auditors, all of them just dying like that. So some of the things, some of those things took away from we are government. Anybody even acknowledging the good that he did as a president. So when you're good, all way you're bad, all way you're good, then how can we recognize that? Thank you.
But let me say something quick. With this and Ennis, Matthew Ennis you're talking about. Then imagine you talking about Matthew Ennis. And at that time, guess who they say? They said that McGill. Guess what? McGill wife, Vivian Ennis, that Vivian Ennis brother. They don't even know.
All right, so
they don't even know.
I believe it's.
But they will get it. Let's talk.
Kelabo won't do his closing quickly. Can you let him?
Kelabo's not on the show.
He called because he had to pick up his daughter.
Oh, okay. For the mere fact that he wanted to get his daughter, I'll let him close. For the mere fact that he wanted to pick up his daughter, I'll let him close.
You see that Grace got or children in a lot of activities, but she can force it on. She have to do the show because she have to attend to that else.
Yeah.
So when it comes to children, that you got 2 minutes.
That's why I said I'll allow him to do it.
Yeah, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna be quick. I want to speak on one issue, but then Grace added the second thing to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I will begin with Grace. Last comment, Grace. I'm an educator. I've been teacher in Liberia through my life. Even in the US, that's what I do. I'm a teacher. The educational system in Liberia, you can't put it on George Weah. Go back to Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. 12 years. Ellen Johnson and Joe Boyka. What did they say about the education system when they were leaving? They said it's a mess. Okay? So Ellen Johnson Sirleaf and Joe Boyka left the education system as a mess in their own words.
So what were we have for them for not to fix it? What they 14 years not to fix it?
No, so if you don't, you see, education is a process. It takes long years to transform educational system. It takes a lot of time because you got to go train the teacher. you got to have the best trained teacher to come by and transform it. So you don't just even build school and all of you. You got to start first training your teachers before you get there.
And that's what he should have done. He should have done, and then the government will carry it.
I'm not even going to dwell on the education system because you just added that thing. My main comment I want to make before you take my 2 minutes away. My main comment I want to make is on the Jefferson Koji, the impending clash between the vice president and Jefferson Koji.
Hey.
And I'm praying for that to happen.
Yeah, that cool best friend talking you. Cool best friend talking.
I'm praying for that to happen because that will teach the CDC former officials some lesson. They allow this guy here to exploit them, both with everything. They know that. I'm not going to even enumerate, but one day I was just lucky. I was sitting there in my house, and someone from Jeremiah Kuhn's office decided to call me on Facebook, on Messenger. And I actually have the record on that. The person said to me, look, you won't believe that the $16 billion that they say was stolen unaware. People in the legislatures, particularly people in the finance, ways and means, and all of you, got their caught. My boss man bought 26 houses in Monrovia with his no share. Okay? So Jeremiah Kuhn got 26 houses in Monrovia, according to someone close to him. You know? So, and these are the people who were saying Jefferson Koji got it. Then the other person get it one. So let Jefferson Koji sit in that and let Jeremiah Kuhn take him to court. Let the court record spread that the property is for Kuhn. So the public will know. I think Koji should stick on that. Even Koji has his own house to move to, but let him stay there until there is an invasion order from the court.
Thank you.
That's my comment.
Thank you. Lofa.
So let me start off with Alex's statement about not complimenting government because of what they did or because of his perceived idea that they failed. So you should not appreciate their contribution. Let me just say this. If you're making such a statement, you should be comparing that to something else. We do comparative analysis based on what are you making such proclamation. Is it based on the previous government's performance or that or the current government performance? If you are to make that comparison, then I would say to you, then you're not being fair to the we-are-led government, because the reality is this: the current government that we are bashing and we are saying the worst about is literally playing off the we-are's playbook. As a matter of fact, from their own statements, every time you question some of their performance or their activities, in return, they have now created this slogan, "We are did it too." So what does that tell you? Why would you consider a man inept, incompetent, inexperienced, but then you are utilizing his playbook to implement what you told people that you were able to fix? What I noticed happening in Liberia is the reality that we often buy into these political shenanigans, these slogans that bear no fruits, and at the end of the day, the innocent people end up as victims, because you bring people to office who have no idea, they have no agenda as to what they want implemented, and they are just dwelling on these political statements that are often made. And when they are brought to power, guess what happened? They fail miserably because they really don't have the agenda to implement on. The vision is not there. It's all about talk, 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 talk. If you actually understand governance, you will understand that government is continuation. You observe what the previous government did, and you use that as a benchmark to either improve upon it. That makes you a better leader. You can't come and criticize what the previous leader did, but you can improve on what it did. And you continue to give excuses. You came as a rescue team. Now you have turned into excuse. And How are we supposed to sit here and say we're supposed to applaud you for anything that you're doing currently? All of their activities is literally out of the book of President Weah. You see the boys in the streets now. They're no longer there to govern. They're socializing. That is their primary concern. These boys are now handing out gas cards and all of these things. They are not focusing on the primary issues that they are supposed to focus on: quality education, security, job opportunities for the young people. These are some of the primary things that they are supposed to address upon their ascendancy, but they are focusing on how they can enrich themselves. How can you now consider yourself a better government? It is almost impossible. And this is not just from President Weah's term, or not is it from Madame Charlie. It appears as though it had been continuous from time in memory. It's almost like it's the same thing over and over. And this is the reason why we must recalibrate. When I hear people say we must recalibrate, yes, we must recalibrate, but let us bring fresh minds to the table who are competent enough to implement based on their experience to succeed. This is where we come from. I can appreciate what the previous government did, and I can add upon that based on my innovative thoughts so that we can move Liberia forward. When good things are done, let us applaud them for the good things. When bad things are done, we must also call them out, so that way we know that we have the watchdogs. And that's part of the reason why the Fourth Estate serve in this capacity. You are the watchdogs. You must hold them accountable. You must give them due respect where it is needed. The recent incident of Honorable Boycott, deceptive travels, and continuous refusal to be honest to the Liberian people, I think it is, again, very, very much detestful. I think we need to do a lot more than what they started to do. I'll stop at that point. Thank you.
Well, let me ask a question. Toga, you in Liberia? The president is back in the country now, right?
Yeah, he came back this evening.
He went for joyride.
So wait, it is true that the president wasn't on the executive mansion website.
Check it yourself.
There is nothing much. There's nothing much on the executive mansion about the entire trip, you know. But
so what was the trip?
I don't think anything there
nobody.
for the
You know,
trip.
Tomalin, the West here, but A1 will begin to speculate now. They will say we bad.
But then let us,
you know,
We'll find out. That's the problem. They were voting for change, but then they should have checked.
Yeah, you know, because when you do these sort of things, then you leave room for speculation. Because, take for example, I've been getting, some information from some of the folks that up to today, civil servants have not even taken pay. Now, if you get some friends in the region, you want to quickly run to them, because I even got some information that the first 1 or 2 months of the CDC government, they had to run to Senegal to ask for money until they could settle in to run the country and to pay almost between 25 to 30 million every month to civil servants alone. It's a tough battle. So people are running here and there looking for money. But if you just lead a country like they will, or anybody knowing, then we begin to pull the spin around.
The TCA, we need our cash app is here. I was there. We just put more money too.
Please donate.
We won't have a good show on Friday.
And Tomalin, I hope we keep an eye, and all of them will keep an eye on the vice president is taking a tour of Nimmak, and the conspicuous silence of Prince Johnson visibility in the vice president's tour, because it is official. Like I saw, some of the representatives, I saw the superintendent, and other people at Nimmak, the traditional leaders all lined up. Prince Johnson was not present. I think we got to watch up in a couple of days whether Prince Johnson will show any face in the VP's tour. It's very important.
That's true. Even the superintendent ceremony, he was not there.
One congratulate the superintendent of Nimmak County, my own sister, Mepe Gono, she's superintendent of Nimmak County. Guys, yes, when
Johnson was not there.
She's superintendent.
Right. I just want to respond to my brother.
That's Syria commercial county over there. So what? Superintendent of Nimmak, Joe.
But Mepe, I want to say congratulations. I wish you well. I pray you serve your people well and make the generation proud. All the best wishes to you. When I'm in Liberia, I'm sure maybe I'll pay a courtesy call on you when I get there next month. I'm not giving a date I'm arriving because I don't want to be. I'm for security reasons. Yes, I will not give it.
Let me just.
No more security
react to
situation in the
that.
country. Everything over now, brother.
No, man. First
The
of all,
way you used to be hanging with the president, you went hang out with the president. You ready?
I
Now you
the president myself. We got out of that. But at least the
Kev, I just want to respond.
basketball.
I just want to respond to you, October.
Man, you're killing it, man. You're killing it now.
You want to start a whole brand new show.
Yeah,
You want to
yeah.
start a whole new
No,
show.
I gotta keep my closing remark because there was some things
Yeah,
that was said.
in fact, I will mute myself. So just hear you.
I just want to get you know.
I said,
I'm not gonna let you.
president one
Let
time elect with chief.
me tell you something.
6 months.
But
These
before
people,
you, let me just say to
you
you
have
guys,
deceived
I
the
see
Liberian people for so long, and there's a new sheriff in town, and I will not let you get away 1 inch.
No, man.
Okay.
I
If I gotta start my own newspaper in Liberia, I'll start my own newspaper.
on the screen.
Kev Hassan wants to sit here and tell the Liberian people,
please help us.
that
We want to have a
Jefferson
show on
coaching.
Friday. Let's make a show on Friday interesting, please.
No, yeah, please donate.
Come to us. We'll have a nice show on Friday.
Now what I'm going to use to run your own podcast after the show because not everything you want to say on the show.
No, I'm just gonna put it. Kev Hassan wants to sit here and Alex
used to run your own podcast on the side. The one you tell us on the show, you go talking there.
Well, you're scared.
Wait, hold on 1 second. If I go to the car to get to work,
I saw you on a motorbike.
Look,
oh, that's good. That's good. I mean, there should be no reason why he should get a car.
Before I go, let me send happy birthday to my friend and brother, Ben Sanvee, the owner and chief operating officer of the Guardian Angel in Delaware. Today is his birthday. Chairman Ben Gifla Balakesali, the owner and chief operating officer of the Guardian Angel in Delaware. Ben, Chairman, happy birthday, best wishes. You're a good man, you're a good human being. You always supporting humanitarian causes in Liberia and all over. I want to say thank you, man. Continue your good work and that God bless you as you celebrate your birthday today. Look, guys, Liberia, I can tell you from a fact, I thought this thing would have waited until maybe 2026, 27. Well, I see the election already started 2029. I'm hearing that the rescue mission, they're about to explode. People that have been who supported the rescue mission, they are now furious. They're mad. I talked to my friend Martin Colley. I know I can say what I say. Martin was one of the strong guys. Martin is not happy. Martin he has been expressing that he talked about the contract at the port now. He's on it right now. He's concerned that contract. He says it's all joke. All that thing is all fears, you know. So right now it's getting serious.
Tired. They said they
contract
as a recovery team. As a recovery team, the as a recovery team, the chairman, the co-chairman, they are all engaged. I mean, we all know the story. It's getting serious, guys. Look, the election already started. 2029 already started. My party is going to be running. I will be involved. My party, they call it the last 10. The last 10 party is coming. The last 10. Our party is registered with NEC. Will be in.
But why will you say that?
Tomalin, let me say something.
Right? Last 10 party. That party encompasses people from all walks of life. We'll be part of that party. We'll make sure that this country is rescued the real way.
Tomalin, let me share something real quick, right? People who were never involved in politics before, and I'm gonna use my dad as an example. He was never involved in politics, and he became a regular follower of this platform. As a matter of fact, sometimes when we're on the show, Dad would text me key points like, "Oh, hey, this part here you were wrong," and I mean he's now a regular follower of the show. So I'll be in New York. June. He's celebrating his 70th birthday. So what?
Lofa.
What?
Tell the people where your mom did to me.
You see a problem?
Look what I celebrated now. Look what you know.
Tell people where your mom did to me.
I'm not telling you that. You got it was during the election time, but you know. I'll be in New York. I'll be in New York to celebrate his 70th birthday. So, but he's a regular follower of this platform now. And sometimes when I was like, since when you started getting into politics? Because he was never a part of politics. He just laid back.
Everybody getting
Everybody's getting into it.
Getting involved. Look, let me say this. This are us saying, "Oh, I'm not involved. I'm part of that stuff." No. If you're serious, you want to go Liberia, you want to get investment Liberia, you want something Liberia, you got to get involved. You know, one person I gave credit to, right? She's watching the show now. I don't mean how we always fussing. Tula Gibson, that lady, when she put her time into the politics last election, her own resources, she was going back and forth. I think what 7 visits I made to Liberia. Her own money, right? Rented her own car, her own place. She was into it. Even though the results she wanted, they never got it. I think they got her by 1%, which I know I still have problem with.
You got the election was rigged.
Now you take a shot. Now you take a shot.
There's no way money bag comes then the two people that Gonglo, the people they campaign throughout every nooks and honey or cranny of Liberia, and they got that amount of vote. And then how did Eddie Abiton came from? It's that election on a serious note. Before the election, you found out what happened, because there's no way Eddie Abiton would have been taking tear place in that country. We don't have about this guy at all. Only to find out that he was taking tear place vote. Something happened in the election. Something happened, but we'll find out one day.
Let me ask you about your party here, okay?
It's the last 10 party. Good.
The last 10, yeah.
Let me ask you the question.
Yeah.
You supported CDC, there was a failure, okay? Why can you now start supporting people like me, people like Monobar, who have the policy, who come on your show every day, lay up being fighting for Liberian people, but you want to go?
Alex, look, Alex, let's stop, Alex, let's stop.
We're wrong with some of us.
Let's stop.
Go behind George. You choose to go behind everybody. Not the Liberian people today.
Yeah.
First of all, the first thing you stand is show and say you against the helmet. You want people to die for nothing.
That's not what I said. I said education.
The first thing you against the helmet.
You want to show you.
You president, yo. You say you start firing for you. The man in the government, you fire the president.
Let's be here.
President, he said I will fire you.
Timothy, you're not gonna dog this question here. What do you think George Weah is more qualified than Alice Jones?
Alex, for a man who wants to become the next president, you should stop sneaking in your commercial here. You should probably pay for. Give us.
Don't worry.
Transparency.
Don't worry. I will give. I will give the most advertised candidate before 2029. Don't worry. I'll pay my dues. I'll pay my dues. But Timothy, people like Alice Toga, you're the journalist. You need to get beyond where you're feeling Liberian people, and I think you need to be real with Liberian people now and start looking for candidates with substance, people who are being correct on every issue. Every issue in Liberia, and all my stands are being correct. Yeah, Lofa Julius, yeah. I criticize this scene, Joseph Walker. His empty-headed finance minister.
I saw you.
I can't even pull up $100,000.
We still got
all day. You support then you say you what?
He said girlfriend gives him. He said girlfriend.
No, but what I'm saying, that's our problem. You don't like good people.
Oh,
you will happily put money behind Joseph Boy, Darius DeLong, all these people. Chris, I'm telling you.
Yeah, they were buying the people clothes and all shit.
Yes.
Then
when the people come. Exactly.
No, but you know the problem I got with DeLong. I mean, everybody at the time people thought that okay, the government was going the wrong way, so everybody said, "Look, let's support DeLong."
Thank you.
So, but then when he took power now, all people supported DeLong. He done block them, and that's what I said. And he told me, he said he's not running 2020 now. I will see. Which
he can't.
Yeah, because
not if you want to.
Everybody, and you don't support it. Then number two, when you're supporting,
the man going pass off.
But you only running to Basel. Is that you only running for president?
No, Yomli now is opting for other presidency or vice presidency.
So
because she wants to run along, you know. So DeLong will be running for the Senate from Basel. That's what I'm hearing. But DeLong is currently constructing a home in Basel.
Look at that kind of stuff you're hearing here.
Yomli
can't get a run for president.
DeLong is currently constructing
you're not even to be talking
in Basel.
They want to be talking about it.
They want to forfeit. Citizen USA. Thank you.
Yeah, keep advertising me, okay?
They may keep us saying
keep advertising me
because somebody was teasing somebody.
Come on, you believe you grace. Come on,
don't man. They see Alice coming here where he need or Lofa man that were telling the Liberian people that Joseph Walker and Ben Yue will save the country. They see ANC people that were with Joseph Walker. Now they coming on and saying,
Lofa you heard say that.
So at least Alex Jones, some of voted for coming the first round. If before You're the best candidate. Cummings for president.
Yeah, but if Cummings cannot have the judgment like Alex Jones to know that Joseph Boga
If Cummings are going to be president,
the fact that
it was going to be worse.
Oh no.
A very serious presidential candidate. A very serious presidential candidate to sit and carry on commercial for his
I'll wear any t-shirt.
Right,
I'll wear any t-shirt. Attack my policy.
But you would not sit and give credit to previous government.
I did give credit to previous government. What I said is still nationally economic. You see, that's what I'm saying. If you want to attack me, you can attack me and stand behind it.
That's my thing, right? We are at a very, critical point in Liberia.
Lofa Julius, the people your support will continue to let you down because you have this elective thing here.
Alex, when we're talking about people to come, when we are talking about people to come to the limelight in governance, let us stop confusing our people with the Alex Jones.
Put Alex Cummings there. The man who said Joseph Boga and Ben Sanvee were the best president.
That's the mistake we made. And we are not about to repeat these kind of mistakes. Let us be.
But you are making the same mistake, Lofa Julius. Hold yourself accountable. Lofa Julius, you got to hold yourself accountable for the people you support.
You cannot continue to bring these kind of arguments and confuse our people with the
argument you're talking about. I don't have the right and the qualification to be president of Liberia.
Alex, you were given the opportunity when you first mentioned the desire to run for the presidency. Myself reached out to other people. I invited you to sit with you. You didn't even register to vote. Who you really think somebody?
Listen. Well, I say then this is not fair. If you have a question, because no, what I'm saying, you're making an allegation here. Hold on, you're making an allegation. Okay,
did you register?
You're making an allegation.
Did you register?
Okay, hold on. If I decide that this particular election is corrupt and it's not worth me participating, then why should I go into it? And get 1% like Ellis Cummings? If I was Ellis Cummings, I would have done his sample and told him he shouldn't have even ran because he just wasted money and time.
We just said it here. What makes you think the next election is not going to be corrupt?
Well, wait and see.
I waited for you to actually exhibit.
You didn't wait nothing. You didn't support me. You attacked me. You jumped behind ANC. The other men jumped behind CDC. The other people jumped behind Boga.
I gave you the opportunity and you blew it out the window.
Yeah, but you are not on a platform. These people are on Spoon TV. These people are on Spoon TV, and they didn't give me one single airtime.
Alex, let's start addressing the real issue.
What I'm saying.
We need to move Liberia forward. Let us stop making jokes.
Yeah, okay, move Liberia forward with Joseph Boga, Congolo, Alex Cummings, and Josh Weah. That's why you need to move Liberia forward too. Because that's what you want.
Let's get good.
You say you're young people that want to see change. But then when somebody comes with change, you criticize the person. You go for the scene. You because Iris DeLong.
Let me ask a question. Ellis Jones, when last time you visited Liberia?
It doesn't matter. When you want to interview me. When you want to interview me on your show, when you want to call me, just the way, no. When you want to call me the Tomalin, when you want to give me the respect and say, yes, I'm aspiring, then I will answer every question that you want. But right now, I'm here as a commentator.
Right now, you're here.
Wait. No, dude. I want to urge you. Pay for a one-on-one. Let's do it on a weekend. Pay for a one-on-one.
Okay, I agree with you.
There you go.
Pay for a one-on-one. So tell me, give me the dinner time.
The first thing, I will pay for you to support the channel, but why do I have to pay for it? And other people come on your channel.
No, one-on-one.
They don't pay.
Well, you get best.
No. You see, and that's the problem I have with them. They will invite the Cummings and the Boga, right? In fact, the journalists that were paying these people. But then when the Molobas and the Alice come, they say, oh, you need to pay.
No.
And I refuse to pay to play. I refuse.
Hold on. No.
That was some of the reasons why I boycotted this election, because the media was very biased and corrupt. They are not stupid.
This is the problem.
You can't answer. You guys are candidates in the race. Your media.
Alex, you just made a false statement, though.
You have candidates in the race. Your media. You supported one person that can count on your radio station 4 or 5 times, but then you want the other person to pay to count.
No, I'm talking now. You saying you want to give you a free airtime for 2 hours 30 minutes. Pay for it. We'll have one-on-one on a Sunday.
No, but just
or Saturday.
seriously, because this is Alex, we have to say the truth. Or like if Joseph Waka or Jeremiah Kun were coming here, you would tell him to pay. Even if you are doing one-on-one with him, you would tell him to pay.
Well, don't forget now.
When the minister came, the minister of public works here, he paid.
Did you guys listen? Did you guys listen to what Tomalin said, or you just simply just jump in? The man said, but here's the thing. Tomalin said, pay for one-on-one engagement so that it is here on the radio.
And that's why my question is,
and if my response to that,
wait.
Listen to me. Yes, my response to that.
Grace.
I'm not paying for one-on-one because I want to come on a show for the country.
No, because
I will support any media. Hold on now. Let me Tomalin, just give me 30 seconds.
Okay.
Because I've been very consistent. I refuse to pay any media for airtime. I'm taking my time, resources to run to change the country. Other candidates are welcome on this platform night after night for free. Then you want to ask me to come and pay.
No.
I refuse.
Let me address it.
Grace, you see what I'm saying? I refuse.
If the campaign was on
So
right
when
now,
you get the kind of leaders that you get, then you complain.
If the campaign was on right now, the campaign was on right now, declare campaign open right now, you come free. We not charge to come in, but right now, the new government just started. Campaign haven't started.
I'm not campaigning right now. I'm not campaigning right now.
You'll be heard, so you pay for it. People hear you.
Alex, what are you doing?
I'm not campaigning right now. I'm here. If you look at my team, I'm here. I run a think tank and the movement to make Liberia better, which has been one of the oldest research Liberian think tank that I've been working for Liberia since 2020. All the numbers you see, nobody paid me a dime, nobody donate. I publish this information on all the newspaper. I've been doing it.
Okay, Alex,
so I'm here for the Liberian people. I'm not here whether you make Alex Jones president or not.
Grace,
so I wanted to ask Tomalin a question.
Go ahead, Grace.
I was saying that I heard Tomalin question on Julius.
Okay, go ahead.
My question, I heard what he said. My question to you, Tomalin, if any other person coming here and doing one-on-one, will you allow them to pay? It would just be fair because if Alex would pay, then the rest of the people coming one-on-one should be able to pay.
Okay, listen,
so if it was Jeremiah Kun or anybody else,
you know why you pay for? These people are in office now. They're in office. They're public figure in office now. So you want to hear from them.
But that's wrong.
Yeah. No.
You know why that's wrong? Let me you know why that's wrong? Let me tell you why that's wrong. Let me tell you why that's wrong. No. Let me just tell you why it's wrong. I agree with you. But give me 30 seconds. Let me tell you why that is wrong in journalism. Okay. Whenever the government has a budget for propaganda.
Yes.
And any media station, anytime the government has a representative, what the media will do will go out to either a think tank or journalism or somebody to bring them so that the public get balanced information and not get propaganda from the government. So if you've seen that when somebody in government, the only time you're getting air free time, then what you doing, you're helping the government.
See,
CNN doesn't do that.
So here's the reason.
Then what did
you have to have balance. You have to have both sides.
The parents will grow them.
Let me address this.
The government got LBS. The government got Ministry of Information. They got press secretary. And you still giving them free airtime.
No, but guess what?
Yes, because you know what?
LBS will promote them.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we're in the problem with it because our media don't understand the role.
Ellis Jones. You think the Italian platform, you ask them a baby question, you ask them a free question.
Let me address.
These people are public servant, okay?
Like for example, right? I come in Ellis Jones when President Biden arrived last night from America. You think if anybody from the panelists are asking you a question about a trip, you think he would have get you again? They will ask the question. They will ask him the money he spent on the trip, what benefit I broke out for that trip. They will question him. But the man said three questions only, and then they ask a question about you there play with. No, that's what you bring them for. You bring them on a diverse platform where people will ask them questions that people can ask.
Yeah, but I'm here as an analyst to give Liberia economic analysis.
Yeah, but then
so I'm working here to in a way.
You want to promote your political agenda all the time.
No, I'm not promoting it. I don't need to do. Look, Tomalin, I don't need to
Alex, when you sit on this platform,
I'm on Facebook. I got hundreds of thousands of people.
Alex, when you sit on the platform, right? When you sit on the platform and say, I am a presidential candidate, that in itself, you have created a commercial for yourself, and you know that. That is a form of propaganda that you're running for yourself already. When you sit here and say my political agenda is this, you are also.
So when Keff Hassan sit here and tell us that George Weah is this and this, what do you think you're doing?
Hold on 1 second here. When you're doing all of these things here, you're selling yourself, and you're not paying for all of that. So don't try to play on the mind of people. When
no,
we say,
when they see where high Keff Hassan,
our responsibility.
Alex, hold on. Alex, hold on. On this show, listen, I'm on this show here, not for Alex.
Alex, hold on.
I'm on this show here to bring balance and
let me land. The reason why we are here is because we come from diverse background. The authentic nature of this show is because you don't have any tie to me. Neither do I have any tie to Sis Grace or Tomalin. So you can come out here and pull the information out of those government officials. That is the reason why when you came on here the other day, we had the public works minister, Professor Larry came on. He was able to ask those questions for the public to be aware when he was actually exposed. The public works minister could not give data to what he was actually defending. The public became informed of that kind of failure.
Let me ask you a question.
That is why
do you know? Listen, I get your point. My point too.
Let me close on this, right? Yeah. The reason why they will always run away from this platform is because they don't want to be exposed. That is the reason why you and myself we are here. So don't make it seem like
it's a good thing for the country. It's an excellent thing for the country. This is not for Alex Jones. This is for Liberia.
If somebody give you money to come to the interview there, the person will give you a softball question, the promotional question. But that's why when they come here, you think LBS John will ask the VP or the president any kind of tough question will ask him. They will question to promote them. But they come here, Grace will not spare. You got she in a packet, Kerabuna in a packet. They will ask them the toughest question they can ask. So we talk about Keff talk about former president. We are here. In somebody in Lofa disagree. You see what? Lofa said no.
But if there's your platform, there's a benefit you get into, right? When Alex Jones shows us on this platform, right? There are people who will not watch you and think that your platform is biased. They're going to come and watch simply because they say, okay, Alex Jones is not a CDC man. He's not a Unity Party man, right? Besides that, they understand that Alex Jones can bring to the table. No, what I'm saying, it's also a win-win situation for the Liberian people. So, I'm not saying that the platform don't help you people.
Guys, I'm out of here, guys. You guys have a good night.
Yeah. So just good night.
But Grace, how you gonna tell me good night? Can't you say Lofa good night? Like,
good night. You are saying good night.
Lofa girl.
No, I think she's living because I
wanted to address something quickly.
She's living because
I want to say this is my closing.
Grace does not like to see me. She's living because
this is my closing. Wherever Karabu. This is my closing. I would like to say first, I would like to address a statement that my sister Tila Gibson. Tila, my sister. So
I gotta say to hear this one.
Any offense to what she said, but I just want to say, Tila, let me tell you. When Cummings first ran for president, you did not know because I was not a political person. I was not in politics at that time. I was just doing advocacy work. I supported Cummings with $2,200, $2,200. I had people go into the trenches because I felt at that point in time Cummings was the one to lead Liberia. I had people go into. I got videos. I will send it to you. I had people go in the trenches for Cummings. In the first election, I'm not talking about the last election, the first election that he ran, with all those Joseph Baka and then before we have won. I did everything because at that point in time, I believe in Cummings. After that, this last election, I did not believe in him. My reason was that I felt that he had too much of Ellen Johnson rejects behind him, and those people had committed serious corruption in Liberia. And for a man like Cummings that I had so much trust in, to start bringing up people in his circle, it discouraged me. He's not my family member, so I'm not forced to stick with him. Even my brother, my mom's son was running for president, did that. I would not stick behind him. Even money back, as we go to 2029, it doesn't show me what he has to deliver Liberia and come strong. I'm not going to be all by him.
I wish we had 10% people like you in Liberia.
No, Alex, don't jump the ground. Grace, this is an irony. That's an irony here. How can you reject Cummings because according to you, quote unquote, he has early rejects. But then
Moniba
is early. In fact, you currently
Moniba is not early reject. He worked in the government. He has
he still works for Ellen Johnson selling.
His brother was also in the government. He had a clean track record, although he has some corruption behind. Go check Moniba record. If you see
what a corruption Congo has.
I check Moniba up and down.
I think Grace. I think Grace gonna count one of me.
Because so say you get comments from Moniba because Ellen Johnson selling. Moniba is working.
I think I don't want left to say.
It doesn't get him the right now to work in the government. But what did he do in the government?
I get no rejects over here. No rejects.
So he was not a reject. When I mean early reject means that they were there and they got a bad.
But you use the word reject. You use the word reject. You use the word reject. You use the word reject.
I remove myself because the people that he was associating himself with, if Moniba does that, I will also remove myself. Because for me, it's not about whoever, it's about Liberia first. Yeah, exactly. So anybody I see that will be able to do that, I will steal for them and I will steal my money for them.
Grace.
I tell you, Grace, I clap for you. That's how Liberian people should act. That's how they should think.
I have against Cummings. I just felt that Cummings was so with me the way he was very strong.
Exactly.
At that time, we're going to push him. But when you start to attach yourself with people that have massive corruption behind it,
with Louis Brown,
I don't trust you anymore, and that's me.
So with the Daniel Chair,
I think that reiterating Moniba does that, I will remove myself. I'm putting that work first, and that's why I have to go join.
Let me tell you this.
I like that.
Something you don't know.
But you know our people, Grace, you know our people. Once they support you, they see how Keff Hassan can no move on beyond Georgia.
Grace, let me point this out to you.
Lofa Julius can no move beyond Ellis Cummings.
Something you don't know, Grace.
I give.
No, hold on, I'm telling you. That's how we support. I sat on the show here. Listen, I sat on the show here and I said,
the people that were behind Ellie that have massive corruption skinned up behind
Grace,
people coming behind him. Grace, attaching yourself to the people. I'm not going to support somebody like that.
Grace, let me give you this information.
You know, and what you call tribal politics. It's tribal politics. Oh, my man, I can't move behind.
Presidential candidate don't talk too
I'm
much.
not going to support people like that.
Grace.
Our parents, they work hard. We are Liberians. We suffer. You think we're going to let people always because they take away from us? We're not going to do it. So that's where I am.
Grace,
that's the reason why I'm here, and I will continue to speak. I have nothing personal against no presidential candidate. I don't know these people. I don't know they're picking. We're not connected in any way. You're like great people. Most of you're connected with people because of friendship. You're their family, or maybe they know your sister or your cousin
or your tribe.
That's why I always say I'm not a typical.
Okay, Grace.
My husband say,
Grace, you are talking love. So let me say
I'm not. I am not. And I will look for the right for Liberia until God call me from this earth. I am not going to attach myself with people to belong because I alone I belong.
I didn't know that how you can talk. You can't give other people a chance to talk, Grace.
But I give you my brother.
No, but you talk too much now. It's more than 10 minutes. Grace, let me tell you.
When you be cutting me also, I have a talk.
Okay, Grace, let me tell you that before you leave.
You see, now he give me chance to okay,
this corruption thing you're talking, I want to correct you on this. Where Dr. Moniba worked in Ellen Johnson Selly office, a presidential, a special presidential delivery unit.
Minister of State up portfolio.
He was Minister of State up portfolio and he delivered in that position.
Oh, wait.
He delivered. He was not a mongrel. He delivered.
Grace,
so
listen to me. You talk on your corruption team. Me, I'm not an expert, but I'm well informed on the policies, the laws. Okay? So let me tell you this. For the past 18 years, Grace. Yeah,
Tomalin, plan on ending the show tonight. Y'all sleeping out here. Y'all on
For the past 18 years, let me tell you this. All the other ministries and agencies of government have been audited by the GAC. Okay? Here are the ministries and agencies that have not been audited for 18 years. So anybody who worked there cannot claim not to be corrupt because you have no other report to show that your stewardship was clean.
But for your actual work,
Grace,
the people
let me finish.
Actual work.
Let me finish.
You stop putting corruption because everybody because you're killing them.
Because you use the word corruption. So I'm trying to correct you, Grace. Grace, if you work at the legislature from 2006 up to present, you can't say are clean because the legislature has refused to be audited. Even though they allocate money to themselves, like in the current budget, they have allocated $13 million to themselves again. No audit. If you work at the judiciary, you can't say I'm clean because the judiciary has never been audited. If you work in the executive mansion, no audit since 2006 up to present. LM Johnson said the entire ministry and hall were not audited up to now. Georgia was not audited. Okay? President Bouakai, when you were vice president for 12 years, no audit. So Bouakai office cannot say they are clean also because they have no audit report to defend their
what can I do? What I see to you is that
to claim that Moneba is clean, you can't make that clean because Moneba was never audited for the money he spent on behalf of the tax dollar.
I think I came in. Okay,
the tax dollar that Moneba expended.
Let me say this. Let me tell you where. Even me here. Listen, I would rather pick a Moneba. Okay. In a day, listen to me. Listen, and I will tell you why. And I will tell you why. Listen, in a day or commies, in a day or a Borka, in a day or a Gonglo, or any other OO politician. I don't think Moneba. Listen, I myself, we are not perfect. Okay, I'm not looking for perfection. But the difference between a Moneba and a Borka, okay, is first of all,
this man is Moneba.
It's age.
Moneba. Moneba. Thank you. Okay, here's the difference here. Okay.
So Jeremiah is
but you talk. Let me finish now. Let reason. Because I know when reasoning against people, people go against reason.
This is not. We're not talking about Asia. We're talking about.
Okay, forget it. No, not just age.
That is Ella June agenda. That is political vision. Age. Ella June political vision is age.
Now I say I think we need to do that show because I read whole book on all my agenda. I'm the only person got everything. Oh yeah, I talk about cash transfer. You will not listen to that one. You go and pick the one you want to pick.
I will be one of the questionnaires. I will be one of those who question you. Come on the show.
I am the most accessible presidential aspirant. Hold on here. Me and Moneba, right? Moneba myself. Hold on here. Are the two most people who have been interviewed and are open to any interview any Liberian president?
That's false. That is false. Okay. Ellis, that's false. Ellis, that statement is false. You know this. And you know this. Look, Alex, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something.
Show me one. Okay, hang on here. Show me one Liberian presidential aspiring.
You just mentioned
Listen here. Lofa, because I know you're sensitive because we mentioned comments. But let me ask a question.
No,
Listen, let me ask you a question.
You have made these false accusations. I will not allow you to continue to run around here with this false narrative. So you're on here telling people that
I'm not the most accessible, one of the most accessible people on the media.
Nobody will waste their time on you. Nobody will waste their time.
I produce show. I be on Focus on Liberia. I be on the show here. He tell me I'm not accessible. Alex, listen to me on any talk show. Alex Cummings be on it. Borga be on any talk show. We are be on any talk show.
Are you serious?
Tell me the discussion. Tell me the non-partisan. Tell me the non-partisan discussion forum where Alex has.
Here's the thing, right? You see the problem with Alex?
I have problem with all the major politicians. So now they're asking. So don't make it personal. Don't give too much credit. I have problem with Joshua. I have problem with Borka. I have problem with Congo. So don't make it about Alex Cummings.
Alex, let me tell you. Alex, let me tell you something.
Alex Cummings is no factor in Liberian politics at this time.
Exactly, and that is the reason why, Alex. Mr. Gongo, Mr. Gongo, let me respond to Alex. Alex,
told
let
you,
me
once you
respond to
mention
other
certain
people.
people
Let
did,
me make,
so how different
Alex,
are some of us when we say we different from the Blanca people?
Alex, the reason why,
Chris,
say,
you can
Alex,
support somebody, but if you
Alex,
see the person is not going in your
Alex,
way,
you
you
don't
can
say
change,
it
right?
here, Alex.
But the
I
rest
will
of
not
our black people don't know that. They
will
think
not
when they
allow you to
support somebody,
here and
okay, they
speak
go to
of
the
this
grave, they're supposed to
conversation.
support that person.
Alex, when you sit
They will
here
go
and
on
make
defending
this kind of
the person can defend themselves. The person
yeah,
can defend
Alex,
themselves. You see the whole thing with Blanca today.
Alex,
Blanca is
you
incapable of
watch my
defending
thing.
himself, so he
I
get all
will
people
not
on the
this,
internet
Alex.
defending him about private jet.
Let me tell you
Alex, so he can
something.
defend himself.
You know the reason why no one will take you serious? Because you come up with all of these lies about other people. You said this thing before. I sat on
I lie about Blanca.
but let me say this. I sat on several
No.
platforms.
Tell me who I lied about. No,
You
the subject of who I lied. You're on national
you
radio. Tell me who I
because
lied about and what
Somebody
did I
you
lie
support
about?
your show, man.
support. You
Guys,
lied about my support
let's call
and
it a
claim
day.
that I
Let's
was
call it
coming
a day,
support
guys.
when I
Let's call it
made the case for Thomas money back. Okay, I said it on several radio stations,
What did I say
including
about
major
Moloba? I
radio
never
stations.
mentioned Dr. Moloba. I don't know the man. He was not
Let me
even
let
part of my statement.
No, Alex,
Alex,
look
let me
at
let-
saying that
Guys, let's call it a
that
day,
was
man.
one
Guys,
side. That what he's saying that
we'll
true.
continue on
thank you.
Friday, guys. Next
Thank
show,
you,
Friday.
Grace. Thank you for at least
You got
understanding because I just
like I
feel like
said,
I
you
support you.
will get
You
tested
don't
because
know
I'm
what
not
to
going
say.
away and I will confront your media people.